just chatting and whatnot.
This is the intro music.
I saw you uploaded that Polybius playthrough.
Dude, that game in PSVR was crazy.
Dude, it looks crazy. Yeah, like the just the first second of it, I started watching. I was like, "What is
Oh
that?
my
Like
god!
that animal flying by?"
Yeah, at the end of each stage, it all of a sudden it's a rainbow of colors just starts blowing at, it's coming at you, and I'm just sitting there going, "Oh my gosh!" I turned off the microphone when I was playing because my fiance just got home, and private conversations, and I'm just sitting there going, "Oh my god, this is too much." It was pretty fun though. Definitely very old school. Okay, it's live. You can the link. It's on my
Yep,
Twitter.
I'm sending people the link
Okay.
right now. Oof. While Elena does her thing.
What dance is that? Oh, the.
I don't know. It's my favorite one though, or one of my favorite ones. It's really well mocapped.
They should have had the Crash Bandicoot dance.
Oh, hi Victor. I didn't know you were there
Victor.
already.
Hello, Victor.
Victor.
Welcome to
Let
Russia.
me see if I can change the link on PS4 Elite.
Elite. The elitist.
That's what it's called.
We're too good for you. Elena, you have such unique. What's up, Brah? What's up, Alex?
Did you
Alex is
unlock
really
any
cool.
of your
Sup?
animations or taunts?
I don't think I've messed with them. If I did,
Oh, no worries.
I was sitting there playing the
You can
game
get
and
later.
doing my boost and all that. I was like, heck yeah, I can revive people 10% time faster and all that. And
I was thinking of
I
giving
was having
us
fun with it.
a
Did I actually hurt you?
probably.
Oops, sorry. It's Moth. Oh, I know who you are,
I'm just
dude.
trying
Come
to give
on.
us an explosive intro when we
Explosive
decide to
intro.
introduce ourselves.
Yeah. Well, everybody knows me. They don't, multi-peat.
Well, I
They're
know. I
still
mean, just this episode of the BRAHcast, this beta test.
the beta test. Yeah. Last week was a
This is
pre-alpha
Moth, by the
beta.
way.
It was pre-alpha beta with DLC. Day one DLC.
So is this the Charlie DLC?
Yeah. Hey guys, you buy this DLC now. The next 3 months, you'll get all kinds of cool stuff. But this is
Alex just got Horizon.
ooh.
God,
Alex,
I'm about to submit my photo. There's a photo contest going on for that. It's like running for a few more weeks.
what can you win?
So every week they're picking one person, and if your image is picked, they will print it out in high quality on like a nice material and sign it, and then send it back to you.
Oh, that's awesome.
And then display it on at their place too.
There was some guy on Twitter who did GIFs, little videos. Is it GIF? Is that how you say it, or GIF?
That's like the debated thing on the internet.
What's the majority
stands for
say?
Graphical interchange format. So I say GIF.
Okay.
But the guy who invented it, he's like, I think it's GIF.
Okay. Well, GIF, whatever. He did so many awesome Horizon ones. They actually flew him out to the studios.
Yeah, Sunny.
That was so awesome, man. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah, Sunny's awesome. He's the one who like I was been chatting to on NeoGaf. He's from NeoGaf, so.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I've been like talking to him for years about his work because it inspired some of my video work, like my time lapses and stuff. And then that video I did that was basically like what the many faces of Horizon was inspired by him directly.
That was a great video, man. That was really, really cool. I don't know how much time it took you to make that, but it was well worth it. You got you got a good eye, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's very, I was like, damn, Multi-Pete's good at this stuff. I mean, I try to edit, and man, sometimes it just don't turn out right, or I get so aggravated, or like, what can I do? And I have like this image in my head, but I can't always get it to what I want on the screen, And it's kind of aggravating.
I just shared it here on Gaff, but yeah, Sunny is cool because like behind the scenes we PM each other, and I look at his work sometimes just and talk to him about it, and then I share him like early versions, and ask what he thinks. And so
Mm.
far, he's just been like, "Dude, you should share that." And I'm like, "All right."
Yes, totally. Yes, thank you. He loves it so far. Yeah, Horizon's pretty awesome, man. I can't say no to that. I think it's one of the best PS4
Right.
exclusives
Okay.
out
So,
there. What's up, Mr. Bison?
Brah,
Yeah, that's Mr. Bison. He's really cool.
something you can come back to for sure.
Yeah, it's
All right. Shall we talk about what we've been up to lately,
yeah.
or
Oh,
get into the thick of it?
I have a question for you. I'm at the
Whoa,
second palace.
seems like a serious question.
I'm at the second palace in Persona 5, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where the heck does Lady Ann hang out at after school?
Oh, Lady On.
Yeah, that's what I call her.
Most of the time, she's in the underground mall.
Okay, because I'm trying to hook up with her, you know? And I'm like,
trying to romance On.
Yeah, I'm like, I can't hook up with her if I can't find the damn girl. So thank you, I appreciate that. Thank you.
So she'll occasionally call you also and be like, or will text you and be like, "Hey, I'm hanging out here," and that's where you'll find her. Makoto, I don't know if you've met her yet. Will hang out outside of school or in school. Ryuji's always in school or fishing, I think. I don't know.
Ryuji's like right outside the door when you leave the classroom.
Yeah, sometimes he's not there, but he is still accessible, and he'll just be like, "Oh, I'm gonna
let's train.
You want to come with?"
I mean, I'm only like 22 or 23 hours into it, but still, I
was looking at it last night. I'm 75 hours in.
Damn, dude.
And I just finally got to the beginning of the game.
My fiance the other night was like, "Hey, are you almost done with this game?" I was like, "No, babe, I'm not done. I'm not." I mean, she doesn't know. Over here saying that it sounded like elevator music. I'm like, how dare you? How dare you say that about this game?
Dude, it's great though. It does sound like classy elevator music though, right?
He said it's classy elevator music.
Acid jazz and stuff.
Yeah.
It's great. Alright, I'm gonna get on this car and we're gonna do some fireworks. Actually, maybe
fireworks.
Not that car. Oh. Let's come on this car, it'll be safer, maybe.
You've thought about this, haven't you? If you push square, why not?
I've just fought on this map and I know these cars love to explode. Alright, are you looking at all those cars that way?
I'm looking at them correct. Do it! Oh my god, welcome to the BRAHcast! E3 2017 prediction. I mean, E3 2017 predictions edition.
And I'm Peter from the Multiverse Mob channel as a guest on Mr. PlayStation Brah's BRAHcast.
Woo, Peter, we love you.
Sharing my predictions as well and discussing them in whatever depth we end up in.
Because last week this was supposed to happen, but last week things kind of went to hell, so it's okay.
I like these statues, man. These make a pretty good backdrop, right? We could just like face
somewhere. You ever watch Attack on Titan? That's Lady Ymir right there.
Ah. Yay! I see a Eugene in here. Lilu Dallas Multiverse. I like that. Yeah. See, when I heard Multi Peter.
Yeah, that's what I thought of, dude. Multi Pete with like multipath. I was like, hey, that kind of. Yeah. I kind of like that. It's Multi Pete and the Brah.
I see somebody else has been playing freaking Persona as well.
Oh yeah, Mr. Bison, know that kid. He's a big JRPG fan.
Underground Mall.
Yeah, it's. I don't know, man. I was getting so aggravated because I'm going to the doctor and I'm getting the trial medicine, and then I'll go to the
doctor.
I know, dude. I know. I was like, hey,
just like some hot goth chicks. He's like, yeah, I'm a doctor.
Yeah, it's all good. I killed some people. Well, actually, she didn't, but whatever. Spoilers. Sorry. Don't get mad at me, people.
You never know.
Yeah, I'm loving the game though, man. It's like I said, 23 hours in, and that's all I want to play right now. And that's all you're playing too, right?
I was playing it this morning.
Yeah, it's. I don't know what it is, man. It's just so addictive. I just start playing, and I'm sitting there. Okay, I gotta go work out with Ryuji. I gotta go do this. I gotta do that.
I finally got in a relationship with the character, and I think I'm gonna be a one girl guy in the game because
you want to be a player?
I happen to like land on a video that's like shows what happens if you romance all the girls that you can.
Oh, player you.
It's kind of silly.
Oh, it's silly.
It kind of reminded me of like a less messed up. Well, I don't know how if it's less messed up, but did you play The Witcher 3?
Not all the way through, no. Fortunately not.
Okay, well you know Yennefer and Triss being
Yeah, huh?
the two major characters, although Yennefer is like the canon who he was with. Triss is who stepped in,
Mm-hmm.
and then my favorite's actually a character who's from the previous games and in the DLC. But you can romance the two of them instead of just one or the other. And then there's this scene that plays out later where they're like, "We don't know if we're gonna live after this mission we're going on tomorrow." It's not
Bow
actually
chicka
at the
wow
very end of the
wow.
game, but it's like
Mm-hmm.
it's somewhere in there. So like they both ask you to bring drinks. They're like,
Uh-oh.
"Hey, whatever, water under the
Uh,
bridge." Then they put you on bed and they tie you up while they're in their knickers,
whoa.
in their underwear, and they're drinking with each other.
Getting a little
And then they
excited
just
over
leave
here.
you there.
Man, you have me
It's
all excited.
fantastic.
You have me all excited for nothing.
Yeah.
Okay, before we get into the predictions, okay, did you hear about Mass Effect series?
I expected it, to be
Yeah,
honest.
that was
I'm
pretty
actually
crazy.
I was holding off on having a conversation
Oh,
with Holly
sorry.
Bennett from
Uh,
PlayStation Access
uh-huh.
because she is playing it and she's about to finish it, and like I'm a huge fan, and like I keep seeing all these major patches coming out, and I know it
Yeah.
won't fix necessarily the writing as
Mm-hmm.
much, which is a little different than the previous games, but I still like I've avoided her live streams of the game
Uh-huh.
because I knew it was broken and all that stuff, and that made me upset, and I didn't want to like support games being released in that state,
Right.
even though EA did it because
For EA.
well, they're
I mean,
trying
I don't
to.
think
It
they're.
was behind so much, and they're trying to meet that fiscal
Yeah.
quarter, year end
Right.
fiscal year
All that bullshit.
deadline. But I've been avoiding her
Uh-oh.
stream because I don't want any spoilers for myself necessarily because I might play it down the road since it's still Mass
Yeah.
Effect.
I mean, I love the original trilogy. I mean, 2 was one of my favorite games on the PS3 when it, finally
Exactly.
came to
And
it.
two, I played on PC, but I think
Yeah.
I played it on multiple systems to
Mm.
be honest.
I mean, I bought a 360 just to play Mass Effect 2.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I've played Mass Effect 1 and 2 on
Oh.
360 and PC, and I
Mm.
think somebody showed me a version of it on Wii U. I
Oh.
could be wrong.
Probably looks a little rough.
They had like something going on the touchpad, and I thought that was neat.
Oh, that's cool.
They should have had that on the PlayStation app.
Yeah, and when I heard that news today, man, I was like, oh, that's that's not good. I mean,
I just expected it because like they fumbled, they gave it to
mm,
their multiplayer team, and then like
oh, is
it
that
got fumbled on
is
release.
that who
So
they
like
were?
they got
Okay.
yeah. So the people who worked on the game were
Oh,
actually this one dude who's like it's a very diverse team of like
oh,
ethnicities behind it. I don't think it's necessarily forced, but the guy is like kind of like racist anyway. Is
oh,
like heading that team up.
ugh.
He's like he hates everyone who's not
I get what you're saying.
multicultural. Like if you're white, it's like you're garbage to him. And it's like wow, that's kind
Yeah,
of
that's
plain. Now I'm Hispanic, but still, like if anyone hates any kind of color, race, or whatever, like that doesn't fly with me. Like that doesn't give you any sort of like points.
right.
We're all still on this same planet.
Yeah,
Like there's still gonna be people of all race, color, sex, etc. who are gonna end up playing your game because it's Mass Effect.
exactly. There's a huge fan base.
Yeah, and the default characters are white anyway. So it's like whatever.
I mean, it's kind of I just felt bad for the team because, like you said, if it's a multiplayer team that's kind of thrown on them, then hey, make this
The
big
thing is, the
game.
multiplayer was not bad, and I heard the
Mm.
new one, even though it had glitches, was still
Uh,
good, and the combat was good, which is what some of the other ones lacked a little bit of. I mean, I
mm.
think two was pretty good, but
Oh, I love too, dude. I think I beat the game like
I didn't
three,
play the
four
game
times.
specifically for the combat.
Hey, is there anything you wanted to change? Want me to change?
Yeah. Do you want to
Or
make me the party leader real quick?
uh,
So go to my name and click
yeah.
on.
There you go. It's all you, brother.
Okay.
It's all you, bruh.
Let's. We're gonna talk about our predictions now, right?
Yes.
Because all I can say other than that is I've been playing Rocket League a little bit and mostly Persona 5.
I don't blame you, dude.
And a little bit of Uncharted since there's some of these changes. But
I played. How do you say it? Polybus.
Polybius.
Polybius, thank you.
I've been wanting to play some VR stuff, but it has just
Yeah.
been so warm that like, man, I've been needing to take breaks from being in a VR headset. I should probably do some stuff in the middle of the night.
Multi-P. No, I had the headset on. I started sweating. I was like, okay, I need to get done with this. And
Hey, Randy M. Green, or AKA Wipeout guy. What's up?
More Dragon Age, perhaps. The last Dragon Age did pretty good, didn't Inquisition?
It's alright, although
it had great
I
graphics.
wasn't the biggest fan of it. I liked the one before it more. But I know a lot of people like Dragon Age anyway, so they enjoyed it quite a bit.
Yeah. I had fun with it.
Alright.
Yeah, it's all you. You're the...
You are... So yeah, so if you can be Nadine. I know, yeah, I think. We'll see what happens.
Do it. Hey y'all, it's me.
I'll try to be Chloe.
Nadine's British, right?
She is South African.
South African, sorry.
Or just African in general. I think she might be South African.
I'm sorry, Nadine. Don't get pissed at me. I'm gonna need to load
Actually,
out.
that's another interesting one since she's played by a white girl.
Yeah, that was kind of weird, but...
And there's also a white guy played by a black dude in the game.
Oh. Well, I mean, okay.
It really doesn't matter, to be honest.
Right.
Like, it depends on the best performance.
Right.
If it's a video game. Now, if it's a movie and it's a traditionally Asian character or black character and you whitewash that...
Talking about Ghost in the Shell.
Things are a little weird.
I still want to see that movie.
The actor is the same as who you see on screen. It's not, a voice actor or body performance. It's not a cartoon at that point. It's not Kratos.
Right. Have you seen Ghost in the Shell yet?
I did, and I actually enjoyed it. But I went to the cheap theater.
I just need to see my Scarlett Johansson, and we're good.
I like ScarJo, and she actually looks really good as. And they actually wrote into the plot why she's white and stuff.
Oh, okay.
Cool. I was like, all right, that's all right. But I still think the anime's better.
Like my fiance's number 1, but like Scarlett Johansson's number 2. Okay.
Oh, she's a number 2, all right.
She's sitting here right beside me, so I can't.
So if you can make your way over to where I'm at, I think this is a nice view.
Where you at?
You can hang out in front of.
Oh, by the.
Remember where the siege happened on this map?
Yes. ScarJo, yeah, Mr. Bison knows. It's so beautiful. This.
Hold on. Don't blow up.
The sunset is just so. Damn, girl. Is your ass a keg? I want to tap it. What's up? Just saying.
Get that sunlight on it.
Yeah, it's glistening in the sun.
Welcome to the BRAHcast.
Get the BRAHcast. What's up, guys? This is
all so let's say hi to who's here. We got at least 8 people watching right now.
Mr.
So
Bison.
to everyone that
I don't know if Alex is still in here. You know Wipeout guy, right?
Yeah, that's my buddy Randy. He goes by Wipeout guy or Randy M. Green on Twitter and PlayStation and stuff. He does a lot of GTA photography where he'll like do replays and then go do like really cool photo sessions.
Nice.
And he does some of that cinematic replay stuff as well. He does some pretty good work.
Is he excited
He's
for the...
someone we'd probably end up playing GTA with, actually.
Aw.
Good guy.
So how'd you want to do the predictions? You just want me to start with... I mean, I just copied off my predictions off the website. That's what I did.
Yeah, if you want, you can start there. I mean, we can also just go like piecemeal or piece by piece. Like, how is it going to open up? How are they going to set this up?
I still think it's going to be Spider-Man. Because, I mean...
You think it's going to be Spider-Man?
We haven't seen anything since the PS4 Pro reveal, and that was just some of the footage. What happened to you?
I'm being Spider-Man.
Oh, okay. What's up, Blood Legends? We haven't seen anything about it. I mean, and people are just, on my Twitter timeline, I guess I have a lot of PlayStation fan followers, but everyone's talking about that game. I ran that poll asking which game you could have in 2017. It was God of War, Spider-Man, and Days Gone. And Spider-Man beat out both of them. I think Sony knows people are getting pretty thirsty for it. That's why I think they'll, Let's
It's
show
a
that
huge
first.
property.
And of course, like you said, the movie's coming out in like
Yeah,
about
the movie's
2 week,
coming out,
3 weeks
and
after E3.
honestly, Spider-Man has been pretty big for how bad some of the movies were. You
Yeah.
know, but Marvel's been doing such good work. You know,
Whee!
even when some of their work is mediocre, but there's some really good movies out there too.
Right.
That the fact that he's finally in the Marvel universe, cinematic
Yes.
universe rather,
Thank you, Sony and
is a
whoever.
good thing. So, and the fact that it's Insomniac,
Yep. Dude,
that's
Insomniac's
the good
been
thing.
they've been kicking ass this gen. I mean, I haven't played.
I mean, yeah,
Oh God.
they had a couple of misses.
Yeah.
Like some people really like. I wasn't a fan of the humor of Sunset Overdrive, but the gameplay was pretty solid. It's basically
Right.
like Ratchet on steroids.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, and they've had some I think some VR experiments that were sort of well received. Not quite sure.
They should be on the
How well those
PSVR. They're
Well,
going
yeah,
to
well,
open.
they were paid for by
Oh,
whoever, Oculus or something.
never mind. My bad. Sorry. Well.
Although I'm worried about Rick and Morty now. I hope Rick
shit.
and Morty. Oh no.
Oh, I made it.
I'm hoping Rick and Morty VR comes to PSVR, but Google just bought Alchemy Labs, who makes
I heard
Job
that,
Simulator
man.
and
Yeah.
Rick and Morty Reality or whatever it's called.
I was like, oh no. Wipeout says they're going to open with Crash or a playable demo of Final Fantasy VII Remake. I mentioned that
So
when we
I
were
don't know
talking
about
last
Crash.
night.
I mean, I know Crash comes out after the fact, right?
Yeah. I think like 13 days.
So I don't
wait,
see why they would
yeah.
open up with Crash unless
17
it's
days.
an all new Crash, but then that would be a detriment to
The trilogy. Yeah.
to the Insane Trilogy.
Yeah.
I do think that Spider-Man is a big contender, but I think Final Fantasy VII is a bigger game.
Oh, right. Yeah, because it's sold
Like, as
11
big as
million
Spider-Man
copies.
is, I think opening with 7 would be great with that orchestra.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Dun, dun,
Like,
dun. Oh, my God.
now, the only other thing that would outclass that is an all-new, IP, such as something from Sucker Punch or even Red Dead, if they could somehow secure that. But I'm pretty sure Red Dead's only going to be multiplayer.
You think so? Damn.
Well, I'm pretty sure they have a deal with Rockstar.
What are you doing? What are you crawling?
I don't know. He's just taking little steps. Anyway.
Yeah, go ahead.
I think,
One-winged angel. Yes.
What about angles? Where?
Oh, I said one-winged angel. I said, yes. Sorry, go ahead, man.
Oh, exactly.
Yeah.
So something like that would be epic if we get to see Sephiroth in real time.
Sephiroth.
As from one of the scenes from that we're familiar with, but completely redone, and some gameplay stuff.
Right.
It's not just like the tech demo-y looking stuff.
Yeah, about that. Sorry.
Now, Red Dead is, Sony has the marketing rights to
Red Dead.
to the multiplayer for sure, but I wasn't sure if they have the actual game. It might have the game too, and if that's the case, Red Dead's another massive potentiality. Now, I think it also comes down to what does Nintendo, what does Microsoft open with or show off, and that might affect what they just. Whoa, the lighting changed.
Yeah, I know, but say, what happened to our sunset?
Our weather's changing here.
Ooh.
That might affect what they decide to open with, because while Sony is very strict in some of their planning, they're also reactive / plan ahead with different things, which is kind of a good business strategy. And a lot of big companies do this, where they'll have multiple options to open or end with in case something goes wrong and they can't meet certain deadlines.
Like, let me ask you something.
So,
do you remember last year how everyone said that E3 was supposed to end with Red Dead, but they instead went with Days Gone because of... Wasn't there a shooting that happened?
Yeah, so everyone was supporting that
Red Dead was going to close it.
And having a bar scene would have been kind of insensitive,
Yeah. Do you believe that? It can actually happen?
Saying, well, it's still, there's all this other shooting during their show, blah, blah, blah. Actually, there wasn't. If you look at last year's E3, the amount of shooting they had was minimal during the entire presentation. except for shooting against the freakers or whatever they were, the
Right.
zombies from Days Gone. So I think actually they made some major changes.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. uh, Now, here's what I have some stuff I wrote down. I think because they're doing everyone can go to E3 now.
Yeah.
And everyone, or not everyone, but it's open to the public, and all eyes are on everyone, like on Microsoft, Nintendo, on Bethesda, on I think even Square's gonna have their own panel now.
Don't mess this up, guys.
Do you think they're gonna do the E3 experience in theaters this year?
Man, I talked to one guy with Sony, and he said he didn't see why not. But, I mean, it's getting kind of close.
I don't see why not either, as far as the fact that you pay to go see it,
Right. I mean, I really enjoy it. But it's also
the infrastructure costs are the big deal. It's the 4K streaming across the country that can cause problems. And I think they had a few showings elsewhere, but if they can do it globally on a larger scale, and it won't impact the cost of running the panels and all that, I hope they do, because I think it's... Now, this is more like a business thing, but I think there's also a kind of magic to it when you can be with I say business as in like it creates hype, right? It's like a hype factory
Exactly, dude.
System.
Exactly, yeah.
But it's smart and also inclusive because you end up meeting people, and there's magic in a theater that you don't normally get just watching something on TV or a computer, where you and a crowd are either wowed or looking at something
what the hell is
together.
this?
Like when there's a huge movie that everyone really loves, there's that kind of laughter and there's the energy and the clapping afterwards. Just like when you go see a nice concert, there's that energy. And when I've gone to the theater experience, that energy of reels and like everyone being all about the games, even people who may be like, whatever, this game
sucks.
Hearing other people whisper that they like the game,
it's what the hell was that, dude?
Like, all these people who are into games in a dark theater like that with all these crazy things being broadcast in 4K is kind of special.
I remember when was it 2015 when it was the Trio FF7 remake? Yeah. I mean, the crowd just went absolutely crazy. I had a friend, he was like, dude, if they show FF7 remake, I'll buy a PS4 this year. He was like, damn, I gotta buy one now. I remember it, man. It was so cool, like you said, having all the energy and everyone reacting off one another and just being all hyped for it. I hope they do. I mean, I think it benefits PlayStation and benefits Sony. I mean, I know you say it might cost money, but I mean, social media presence that's what companies want nowadays, right?
That, like, people are paying for the tickets, so that kind of helps, with the cost, right? And
the hell, they even give you free stuff, so it's like, hey, here's $10 in the PSN.
Depending on what they give out and how expensive it is, I do hope they do it again, but I can see them skipping it in favor of making the at-show experience better.
Right.
But if they do that, I do hope we get like higher quality streams on the PS4 itself, or even a PSVR like 360 stream. So I'd be down for that. At least on the show floor, to check out some stuff.
Yeah, I'd love to go to E3 this year, but it's not happening.
Well, if they do it again next year, maybe we can plan for that.
Well, I tried applying for a media pass, and it was your website has to be at least 7 months old, and you have to get at least 10,000 views a month. And I had 10,000. I had 10,000 in March because of the PS Now. Somebody was a part of the PS Now PS4 beta. And he sent me the list of games on there, and someone got on N4G and it blew up. I had like 8,000.
So that's a good topic to broach, because like there's a poll that just came out where 1 in 10 people are interested in getting VR, PlayStation VR specifically. That they asked,
better than none in 10.
At least.
I think there'll be something big. I mean, if you paid attention, that PlayStation newsletter had it where that it said Battlefront 2 had PSVR capabilities, and then another one said it, and the UK said it, and Sony was like, no, we're not going to do that. I'm like, come on, guys.
I think they're trying to hide. Yeah,
Exactly. They're trying to save the announcement.
So I think if Rick and Morty comes out to VR, it will be announced there. You know, they're trying to like pack as many announcements of new, quote unquote, new things, since in a way they've let a lot of stuff out already.
They have, man. People complain about it, but I'm like, there was 5 PSVR games that came out this month.
I mean, and I'm not even just talking about VR. I'm just saying all their, their announcements for games coming out, but VR too.
Yeah.
People are like, oh, they're spent. There's nothing new, but that's not true. No. They have all these new announced games that keep being announced, even if they're small. Then they have big ones from like Sucker Punch that haven't been like revealed at all. Then you have games that are going to be re-revealed in a way, such as Dreams, which was there slightly in 2015, but it wasn't prominent on the show. Mm-hmm. And it was only really part of a preview of the original 2013, was it like PlayStation meeting?
Yeah, when it was like,
and that one was also VR. So I think this year is going to be intense. Like their push of VR is going to be big, because not only are they trying to move towards amusement parks and getting PlayStation VR into more like places to try it.
Right.
They have all that floor space that they got this time for people to try out not only new games but also the VR games. And they have lots of developers who haven't said what they've been doing, and they could be working on VR implementation into their existing games or games coming out.
Did you play Dreams in VR?
I have not.
Oh, okay.
I don't think anyone who's not Shuhei Yoshida, Kareem, or other people in Europe have tried it. I did play Dreams, but I have not played Dreams VR.
Okay, I'm about to say. I mean, however, it is confirmed, right?
Too much time in there. Well, they've been playing with it for a while.
Sorry. Okay, cool.
That rendering engine also works for VR, which is cool. So I think that'll be massive, because not only is that going to already be this like creative / adventure with this immense like variety of like what you can have, things can look like, and social sharing of like models and environments, and you can just jump into people's creations or dreams and whatnot,
and help remix it and stuff like that.
To do that in VR would be insane.
Oh yeah.
And then to be in VR and make something with your hands and then 3D print it in the real world.
You can do that kind of stuff?
You can 3D print stuff from PlayStation, from Dreams, yeah.
Holy crap.
You can export models to use in Unreal Engine and Unity and 3D print.
So you know so much more about this game that I don't even know about. I mean...
Dude, I love Media Molecule.
Well, I try to find articles about it, and it's just like basic stuff. Like, you can create whatever your mind wants to. I'm like, okay.
Like,
that's cool.
I went into a deep dive in how that game works in the sign distance field, point cloud rendering, and all that stuff to try to wrap my head around how they're doing this kind of infinite scaling and stuff. It's some fantastic stuff that they've built, man. And I can only imagine how crazy it is to try to like build a new engine that's completely different from what we're used to, that doesn't use, triangles and 3D meshes and stuff like we're used to.
Is that supposed to come out this year? Is that a 2017 title, or is that? I
don't know. I mean, because of how different it is, I would imagine that the beta is this year, and how that goes along with how their tools are coming along in the adventure mode. It would be either Christmas or sometime next year.
Because that's my bet. I mean, my prediction was the Dream beta starts now. Like after the show is over, they launch it.
Because of the way Dreams works, the beta is basically a soft launch where you'll be creating stuff that will then eventually show up in the real game. Once you get the game, you play the adventure mode, and there's going to be all this stuff already in the world for you to try.
That's cool, man. I love stuff like that.
It's kind of how Little Big Planet was, right?
Yeah.
Like 2, you played 2, you had all the levels from 1.
Yep.
But I think that will be a huge showcase for VR. Capcom itself also has been changing their priorities to, to do more VR because of like 1 million people basically playing Resident Evil 7 in PSVR.
Whew, that was an experience.
Yeah, and that basically means everyone who had PlayStation VR at that point had tried PlayStation. It was 100,000. I'm sorry, it was the 1 million people who had bought PlayStation VR.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. PSVR.
Which is a huge install base if you think about the fact that it's hard to get during that time.
Right.
And that was more than the Oculus and the Vive combined.
That's the power of PlayStation for you.
I mean, a lot of people say, that's nothing. That's nowhere near the same numbers
60 million
as
of them.
Launch of consoles and stuff. But it's not a console launch. Yeah. It is a niche accessory. Niche accessory.
Niche.
And yet it's still sold out for like months.
Yeah. My friend, he wanted to get the bundle when it first came out, and he didn't pre-order it. I'm like, dude, you're out of luck.
I think that's what's going to happen is like as it grows and as they can produce more of it with whatever demand there is, and with more games, like especially if we get some like surprise announcements, like what if Sucker Punch or Detroit or whoever comes out and be like, this is our new game, and it's VR capable.
Yes, that's what I predicted. That there'll be some big
I think
franchise.
There's going to be some big games for VR that will sell a lot of people on the idea of getting a headset because this big game now supports it too, and it's not just it's not just a mode. Which Ace Combat and Tekken, those are modes, and I think even GT Sport is a mode.
What happened to the Final Fantasy 15 experience? Do you remember that when they had like?
I'm sure they're waiting to show that off too at E3. That's the thing, right? They're trying to pack all these things into.
I heard it wasn't that fun.
Make it as compelling as possible.
Right. I think
so. There's definitely going to be a big push for VR. I'm pretty confident about that.
But like you said about the floor show possibly having more VR, because I think PSVR
that's people actually get to try it, right?
Yeah, and playing VR is believing. I mean, I can be like, dude, Resident Evil 7 is amazing in VR. I could tell you that all day.
I think I just started dabbing.
You are. But if you go and play VR and experience it, it's like a totally different thing. You're like, oh my god, I understand now.
It's kind of like Atmos when you wear like the 3D headphones. It's like hearing is believing, seeing is believing when you're in like VR. Or I guess in VR, it's not necessarily just seeing. It's not just seeing; it's feeling.
Because I was hyped for it. And we went to,
it's that prominence. It's where when you lean and things are scaling correctly, and it really looks like you're in another world. That's this sensation in your brain that you're like, oh, this is VR. It's not just a screen strapped to my face. I'm not just pushing myself against the TV.
Have you played?
And it's not just 3D, huh?
Have you played Super Hypercube?
I have. That was one of the earliest 3D things I tried.
Yeah, like when you have to lean over and look past the picture in front of you. I was
takes
like,
into account like the 3D space that you have to look around it to fit it into like the hole.
That just like blew my mind, dude. I was like, "Oh my god, how did they do this?" It's something so simple.
That's a game that you could play on a 2D TV, but you'd have to like implement the other stick to look around, and it just wouldn't be the same.
I mean, that's what sold me, man. I said, "Oh my god, I got to get one." That was so freaking cool.
Yeah, I love that experience, even though I haven't bought the game yet because it's a little pricey. But I think it was Phil Fish worked on that or something.
Right. He has a lot of friends right now, but.
Hey, whatever, man. If you make a good game, you make a good game. As long as you're not like doing it on the back of child labor or something.
Ugh. Yeah, that's not good.
I'm talking about you, Apple. No.
Hey, they're about to be the first $1 trillion company. Okay. We're gonna be trillionaires, bitches.
Hey, that's true.
Yeah, that's
all right. Let's see
crazy.
what we got here. One of the things I wanted to bring up before we get into the thick of games and potential reveals is: do you think? The thick of games, yeah, dude. There's so many games.
There is too many games nowadays. Too many.
Oh yeah.
With Just Eve.
There's a couple of things that Microsoft has done, and I don't know how good it is yet, because I know it's going to be a lot of older games first. But they have Game Pass.
Yeah.
Which is kind of neat, but at the same time detrimental to, I think, developers who aren't their studios.
Oh, you're talking about like third party and the indies and all that?
Yeah, because I mean, PS Plus it works with indies and AAA and whatever scope of games to bring titles and into the instant game collection.
Right.
But if everyone starts doing games as a service and everything becomes, hey, subscribe to this and you'll play our games. Yeah. Everyone else is trying to sell full price games and make big games. You're kind of impacting their ability to sell. Even though EA is trying to do the same thing because they want you to buy their games and just their games.
The EA, what's it?
Price,
Play Pass? Is that what it's called on the Xbox, or what do they have?
Oh, somebody's asking me for the podcast link.
Boop. I was impressed with Eve. Every 80s kid wanted to be a play Starfighter. Heck yeah, that was the first PSVR game I played. That's right, was Eve, whatever it's called. Eve Valkyrie.
I don't know what it was, but Eve didn't impress me as much as I was hoping it would.
Oh yeah. The pro experience is just so extraordinary. It's so much better.
I know some of the games are a little bit like sub-native, so they're a little blurrier, like Drive Club was, until you get the pro version, and it clears it up a little bit more because they do.
I can tell a difference.
Full resolution or downsampled.
Yeah. Oh, sorry guys. Patches and DLC are bad enough. Talking about the Game Pass. I mean, I think it's kind of cool for people that maybe can't afford to buy new games all the time, but I mean, they're not going to put brand new games on there, are they? It's older titles, you said?
I don't know. I mean, I
Oh.
think that's where it gets interesting. Is do you do
Uh,
that? And then if they start doing that, what is Sony going to do? Because Sony also has something similar
yeah, PS Now.
in that they have the PlayStation Now, which is
Yeah.
streaming, not necessarily download and play.
Mm. I've
But
used
they're
it a
going to
few
start
times.
supporting PS4 games on there.
I mean,
You remember that?
yeah,
That
yeah.
news?
That's what I was talking about. That article that blew up on my site was the list of the first PS4 games they offered.
Right.
And I was kind of like, well, that's some like launch title games, but I mean, I guess it's a start in the direction they want to head with it. I mean, I kind of thought PS Now would have been something like, hey, if you buy this game new, you get the streaming code for free also, but that's, I mean, not happening yet, or if I
I
don't know
mean,
if
I
they're
think that would
even,
be cool
yeah,
if they could pull something like that off for digital purchases.
yeah,
But then you have the divide of people who have physical.
right. Well,
Like,
heck,
how do you?
digital's
Does
already,
the game have to be in the drive for that to work? You know,
oh, yeah, I could see them doing that, just,
because in lieu of having it be remote play, you can remote play from Sony servers directly in case your
yeah,
internet isn't fast enough.
right,
There's a lot of ways to answer it, but I'm just curious if they're going to even mention anything about that. You know, I remember a while back they were saying all Samsung smart TVs from a certain year on are going to be able to support PlayStation Now, but that hasn't happened.
yeah.
Although I think PlayStation TV has come to a bunch of them. I'm not quite sure the view.
Oh, yeah, they're cutting support for everything except for PS4 and PC in what, July?
Honestly, like I understand that it's
Uh,
like you have to like pick and choose where you're going because there's tons of PS3s, but they're
mhm,
worldwide,
yeah.
and not all those places are going to get view, and not all those systems are going to really
Be able to,
last that much longer. As
yeah.
PS4 has already been out going 4 years now, right? We're in the fourth year.
Oh God, don't remind me. I feel so old
That's
now.
not bad though. It just
I
means that
know,
the
yeah.
price is going to continue to drop, and more
Drop.
people will be able to adopt it elsewhere.
Because hell,
I think that'll be good.
PS Now isn't in every country, is it? I mean, it's kind of selective,
No,
isn't it?
I'm
Okay.
pretty sure that's also slowly expanding. But
Yeah.
I'm saying support for things like that though will only
Oh,
continue to grow if they can focus it on one platform. You know, one
right.
or two platforms versus four. You know,
Have you tried it on PC?
I have not.
Okay, same here.
I'm not really into streaming games. I've tried lots of
Yeah.
streaming stuff. I have tried PS Now in the past on my PlayStation 3. Actually, I was
I
like the
played
beta for that or something.
I played Sonic Fighters and it played pretty good. Of all the
I'm sure
games.
certain games it would run just fine.
Yeah. I played Crazy Taxi also. I was on a Sega kick one day. I wanted to play Daytona USA so bad because they brought it to the Xbox One. And I looked online and said, "Oh yeah, that's on PS Now." It wasn't on there. I was so sad. I would have played Daytona
Okay,
USA so bad. I think the
so
PS3 is out of production now. Pretty sure.
I think another thing to get before we jump deep
Mm.
into the games is that PlayStation 4,
Mm.
as well as it's selling, will see a price reduction, but not anytime soon.
You don't think so this year?
I think this year. I just don't think they're going to mention
Oh,
anything like that because they're selling so well already.
they don't want people to stop buying them at the yeah.
There's no, it's not, it doesn't make business sense. I
Right.
think they're going to give people compelling reasons to get one, and then
Yeah.
when Scorpio releases,
50
and
bucks.
Microsoft spends $1 billion promoting that or whatever,
Yeah.
they will do price drops and bundles at PSX or just before.
Hello, Leo.
Again, I think it depends on what Microsoft and Nintendo themselves also showcase at
Yeah.
E3 or just before E3.
Hey,
Hey, what's up, Leo?
I think they're bringing the heat this year. I think each company is going to be just bringing all the heavy hitters just because they know
Well, I
it's
think
going to
that
be.
yeah. So I think Nintendo has to prove because not that many people even know about the Switch. You know, it's still kind of like this thing that people run into and go, "Oh, this is a
Cool.
Switch. What is that?"
Yeah.
And
It's
it's
a
kind of
Nintendo
cool
tablet.
that you can have that much, you know, gaming power in a handheld. Even though my
Yeah.
phone and laptop kind of do the same thing, but
Yeah.
streaming wise,
But you got Nintendo games on a laptop. That's kind of cool.
exactly.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
I get Nintendo games on my phone too, but
Well, okay, look. Genuine Nintendo. Well, okay, never mind. There's Fable. I mean,
no, I know what you mean.
yeah.
I'm just saying that still,
Oh
they
shit.
still have to prove to most people that are not Nintendo gamers why they should get it. Because Nintendo gamers want it. You know, a lot of people got burned or skipped the Wii U after the
Yep.
Wii. So they got the
had
Switch
to.
because they can finally play those games.
Yeah.
And there's a bunch of like upgraded versions of those games coming out. But
Wild
even
Card 8.
EA has basically listed
Give me Vita 2.
everyone who's getting the Switch as another market.
Right.
They're treating the Switch gamers as a new market of gamers, as in not the ones that they're normally catering to.
I mean...
No, that kid says Vita too.
Yeah, I don't know, dude.
I don't know if that's needed. I mean, I would be okay with that if they have a good reason to do it, but I don't think... I think they should wait if they do something like that. The technology is just not here to develop something that isn't basically along the lines of the Switch.
Right. Well, I'm sure Sony's trying to figure something out. I think in a couple
of years we'll see some reduction in like chips and like memory and this and that will make you have the ability to have PS4 mobile.
Ooh, that'd be crazy. Playing Horizon Zero Dawn on the go. Oh my god.
Yeah, I mean the Switch, even while docked, is still less than the power of a Xbox One. So that gives you an idea of what they can currently cram, and Nintendo certainly has crammed into something that size.
That's what she said.
You know, so like, and that's from Nvidia, who's like been specializing in low power, low heat, you know,
chips and whatnot, processors. Yeah. Thank you.
Low power consumption, rather.
I think,
we got like 15 seconds before a map change. I think this map change will be a good time for us to jump onto the games.
But no,
I do think there will be some surprises as far as like accessories. Maybe the VR will drop in price, you know, or a bundle will be announced. It's pretty good.
Or they'll have the Move 2 controllers. It's the new Move.
Maybe. I mean, I know they have their Lighthouse tech for the next VR.
Yeah.
But I do think PlayStation VR and PS4 itself will see price drops or bundled price drops closer to the holidays, especially to counteract
definitely
the big games from Microsoft, the console launch, the Scorpio launch rather, and the Switch games, you know.
Right.
Or reasons to stick with PS4 or PS4 and Switch or PS4 and PC or whatever, you know.
Oh yeah, I could see some like
now,
you know,
the
hey, you
Pro is another one. Like, are they going to revamp the Pro and make it a slim version of that, or are they going to just stick to that and just price drop that one too?
Somebody said there was
remain the same price.
Remember, some website came up with a few months ago. They were saying that Sony's going to announce a super slim console. I mean, it came out of nowhere. It was like some Korean news website or something like that, and they said, "Hey, this year Microsoft's introducing the Scorpio, Nintendo will have the Switch, and then Sony's introducing another slimmed down PS4." And people were like, "Wait, what? Where did this come from?"
I think that was based on a new SKU where there was a new PS4 Slim, but it's just like a revision of the hard drive size or whatever.
Oh, okay. What's up,
they
bro?
They were unaware of what that even meant, you know.
What's up, J Bills? J Bills cool. He's a supporter. He's a fan.
What's up, J Bills? You haven't missed too much about the actual game predictions. We did kind of go over a little bit of how we think the show is going to open. They are doing it at the Shrine Auditorium again, so we're guessing there's going to be an orchestra and maybe Spider-Man, I believe Brah said.
What if they do the Spider-Man? That would be hilarious, dude.
That would be great.
Yeah. Well, it's whatever a spider can. Oh my god. What are you doing?
I
do think another Slim could be on the way, but I think at this point it'll just be a revision internally. It'll look similar.
Yeah, the Slim is kind of a little ugly, but that's okay. It doesn't really matter.
Well, I think it would play well with color. Or like custom versions. If they can make a better like internal, you know, like the chipset, the fan, all that, cheaper for them to make, but better in a way, just because of reduction in manufacturing costs, and then focus on having more colors.
The glazier white and the blood red and the T-Mobile magenta PS4. Gonna happen, man. I'm telling you.
Are you joking about all the
I think that would be good.
T-Mobile crossover. Hey guys.
Well, I mean, think about like the color schemes you can go with for Final Fantasy VII, which would be
Oh,
black and green.
ooh,
That kind of, the elemental color.
yeah. Oh, that'd be awesome. Did you shoot at me?
No, I just shot
Oh,
next to you.
oh, okay, okay,
I got this blue square though, or this pink square.
yeah. Yay! Still waiting to see the 3 games Sony London's working on. The Getaway, where are you at? That would be a surprise right there if they brought the Getaway back. Like, what?
Dude, the Getaway VR would be
Yeah.
amazing.
Oh, is that what that was? That one Sony London VR game? Was it a Getaway, or
No,
was it just
the Sony. The Getaway was just the HD remake or reboot or sequel to the original one where you're like driving around,
London? Yeah,
doing
I'm so
doing
British.
heists and stuff or whatever.
Yeah,
Being a getaway driver.
yeah. I never really
But
cared too much
a game
for the series.
like that
but...
in VR would be really cool.
Oh yeah.
As we already kind of saw in PlayStation VR Worlds, right?
Right. That was
Like
pretty
that,
awesome.
just that character. My friend was sold on getting a PSVR just from smoking a cigar and then lighting a cigar for somebody else.
Dude, I gotta get this game.
Have you played that?
Yeah, for the PSVR.
The fact that you can breathe in and it simulates smoking a cigar,
Yeah.
like little things like that, he was just like blown
Little
away.
touches.
Yeah,
Uh-oh.
and drinking, if you like drink out of the cup, it makes sipping sounds.
Yeah.
Or it makes like the cup's empty.
Nodak said possibility of Bloodborne 2. I forgot all about Bloodborne when I made my predictions. I'm like, no, I don't think it'll happen.
I know one of the producers involved with the first one was saying something about a sequel or another Bloodborne kind of game, but I don't know if it will be 2
Getaway
or
3.
if it's going to be like a spiritual successor, but be a different game.
Or
I'd
hell,
be fine with 2.
Just give us Demon Souls remastered. Why not? I mean, that's the game that
Or
started it
even that.
all.
Remember, Blue Point Games is working on something that they mentioned. They're working on like a Sony property that's big,
Yeah.
but they can't talk about it yet.
E3's coming.
So like, whatever Blue
Breaking
Point's
me,
working
bro.
on might be big.
Watch it be something like, oh, hey, we're bringing back Blasto. Oh, cool. Yay.
I mean, there's a lot of weird stuff that could be shown, like
Connecticut 2.
there could be PlayStation Home. Okay, do you want to save the more speculative stuff to the end, or do you want to just get it out of the way?
We can save it to the end. That's fine. Because
the speculative stuff it can go everywhere.
Yeah, the end of the show is always, what's it going to be? What's that one more thing? What's going to happen?
Right? We talked about Dreams briefly, right? I think Dreams will definitely be re-revealed. The beta will be announced.
Yeah, I want to play it so bad. I want to play it.
And they're going to show a bunch of crazy stuff that gives a compelling reason why people should be interested. People who may not feel creative could still enjoy it with the story mode. I think that's going to be one of their big games.
Patel?
Gran Turismo Sport.
I played that in VR.
I think that's going to be big too, though, because that has been growing in popularity with the beta.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't very prominent at last year's E3.
Did you play it at PSX?
I think it was in like a sizzle reel.
Oh.
Right?
Did you play Gran Turismo at PSX?
Yeah.
Okay, did you play the VR mode?
No, I watched people playing it, though.
Dude, it was really good. Like, I played Drive Club, and it made me nauseous, and it looked like shit.
I still play it at some time to time, though.
Oh. I don't know, man.
I liked the pro version of it.
No. I mean, I tried it all the ways I could, and I had the demo, and I bought the game.
Oh, the demo's not quite as good as the actual game.
Okay, well, I was worried because, it cost $40, so I just sent it back to Amazon. I'm like, you know what?
I think you're better off waiting. If you can do the sim portion of Gran Turismo, you're good.
Even the guy at PSX said Drive Club wasn't that good. Just before I got in the seat to play, he's like, you're going to like this. And I played it, and I was like, holy crap. I had to, duck my head down because when your car comes up this hill, the sun's beaming at you, and it gets in your eyes. I was like, oh, God, I can't see. It felt good, man.
We'll talk about that in just a moment.
No motion sickness whatsoever. I mean, it was actually...
I didn't get motion sickness from Drive Club either. And I was jumping in the fast
cars. I did, dude. I got Drive Club. I had to stop playing.
Though, some people would, for sure. And I think the problem is that Codemasters is now where the Evolution team is.
Right.
And they got their studio got shut down, but they still finished VR
Hopefully this year.
because Sony hired, they contracted out some of those people to come back in and quickly finish it.
Oh, really? Is that what
So that
happened?
there'd be just another game available for PlayStation VR. And then they had more people come in and do the pro support after that. So which is why it's not on the demo, I believe.
Okay.
And so that's the thing that it wasn't really done to the best. Even Rushy has said they could have done so much more, but they just they weren't around anymore.
Right.
It was just the best they could do within the time and conditions.
Yeah.
Now that said, and this will be more in the speculative thing, I do hope we get to see what the Evolution team has been up to.
You think Sony will want them on stage though? I mean,
I think so. I mean, they had a good relationship with them up to the end as far as supporting the game, because they went out so far support-wise and DLC-wise to support Drive Club even after all the problems. And the problems were financially problematic at first, but man, Drive Club is one of my favorite PS4 games.
Dude,
they went and did so many content add-ons.
Right. And I know graphics aren't everything.
It is gorgeous, though.
Yeah, it is gorgeous. The rain, the lightning that will appear in some of the stages. Oh my goodness. Whew. So I don't know how they did that.
If we do speculation later, I'll get more into it. But my specific thing about that is that while I think GT will be the big thing, if there is a spiritual successor, for example, to
MotorStorm, yes.
I think Sony would show that there's still good, goodwill there between the team. Yeah, and that, hey, MotorStorm PS4 never came out, but check this out. I think that would be fantastic.
Jay Beal asked about PlayStation All-Stars 2. What do you think about that? That's kind of an interesting one.
That's another speculation thing that I really hope to see, even if it's a little different or even more more Smash and less whatever they try to make sort of Smashy.
Why don't they just give it? I mean, they have such a good relationship with Capcom. Why not give it to one of their teams? Or
I think that was one of the rumors that's been going on for a while, though, because they have been working with Capcom.
I would freaking love that. Because the team they had...
I would love a Power Stone.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Style All-Stars.
That kind of not top down, but like the open 3D space running around and all that.
Yeah,
that would
be fun. But I think what just came out, was it Brawlhalla or something? No, there's another one that came out that was basically Smash.
And
now Smash is cool, but I think something unique that isn't trying to copy Smash would be good. And I think Power Stone-esque could be good.
That would be, because there was that fake image that was like PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale Stadium. I was like, come on, guys, please,
as a top fighter.
Please, for the love of God, don't call it that. That just sounds so corny. I don't know.
I never understood the PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale name either. That was too long a name.
I kind of liked it. I like that term, Battle Royale.
I like PlayStation All-Stars, but
sounds
Battle
fancy.
Royale sounds like a sequel.
Oh, yeah.
Or DLC. Now, if they're going to stick with that, they should call...
Excuse me.
They should make a kart racer, because that's what they're lacking.
Yes! Oh, that would be so great.
There's no Little Big Planet kart racing. Yeah. There's no Mod Nation. They need to do PlayStation All-Stars Transformed or whatever.
Hey, man, Sumo Digital. Sega. Get Sumo Digital. Dude, they made Transformed and Sonic and Sega All-Stars. They were great games.
I love Sonic All-Stars Racing Transformed.
I know, dude.
I like it better than Mario Kart 8.
Oh, damn.
Which I haven't compared it to Deluxe, and I think it's just because it had a competitive nature to it that felt like I actually earned my win, and it wasn't just a blue shell or red shell constantly hitting me.
Right.
Not that I don't like Mario Kart 8. I've had lots of fun with Mario Kart 8, but
All-Stars in a way, actually. Really? They teased it?
It's just one of those games that I fell in love with, and it's not just because Ryo Hazuki from Shenmue was in it.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. Wasn't the DLC the forklift?
Yeah, you get to drive around the forklift.
That's so awesome, man. Thank you, Sega. You get it.
Kart racing or battle, or even just All Stars 2 would be great. And you said J. Bill said Santa Monica teased it in a way.
How so?
Man, if they can fix everything from the first one,
Do it.
It's
Do
about
it.
time.
No, but I think I would
And
take
they've
a
got so many more characters coming,
Ooh,
and now
too.
they can stick Ryo Hazuki in there. You know,
Ryo Hazuki. No,
yeah,
if
they can stick him in their PlayStation Smash.
oh no, I would prefer a
And
kart
Aloy.
racer. I would prefer a kart racer over All Stars too, just because how fun
They
kart
showed
racing
off
games
a
are.
God of War Cup. Oh, okay.
I remember that. I remember that. They were like, "Oh, it's nothing. It's nothing."
Interesting.
Yeah, I remember that now. Sega.
That is
Hey,
interesting for sure. I did not know about that.
Mr. Bison says Sega is coming back. Can't wait for the next Dreamcast. Oh,
That's what it should be. It should be handheld Dreamcast.
yeah, or like a Dreamcast Mini or a Dreamcast Classic. You know, Jet Grind Radio,
Yeah, no
Choo
Vita
Choo
2.
Rocket.
We need a portable Dreamcast.
Oh, that'd be cool. I'd be down for that.
All right,
House of
Randy.
the Dead 2. I'm taking off. Great stream. Thank you, Wipeout guy. Have fun with Omega. Omega Collection. Sorry. Is he from the United States
Man, I can't
or
wait for
Europe
that.
or what? Where's Wipeout guy from?
I think he's from the States.
Okay, because you see all the cool stuff you get in Europe? You can like get the steel case, the steel bookcase
I
for.
might just order the steel case to have
Or
it.
some retailers have like a PS1 look for the case. Have you seen that one?
Yeah, dude.
I was like,
Which game are you talking
Wipeout. I'm like, how come we don't get that kind of cool stuff in America? That's not fair. I mean, it's fair, but you know, but I guess Wipeout's probably more popular over there than it was here.
I mean, it had a lot of Euro like
Yeah, Euro feel, techno
the
music,
electronica and stuff.
Mountain Dew, baby. Okay,
Speaking of that,
where are we now? We're like all over the place.
well, I mean, we kind of talked about the prominence of VR, but there's
Yeah.
that studio. There's London Studios, right? But there's also Manchester Studios, which is the newer VR kind of developer that Sony formed.
Oh, I forgot all about them.
And then
Damn,
also,
Sony.
what used to be the indie initiative from Santa Monica is called XDev, and now that's European-centric. There's XDev Europe.
I've heard of them. Didn't they help with the Wipeout Omega
They've
collection?
been working on a lot of VR stuff and indie games too.
Says, okay, kind of off topic, but Sean Layden with the Spyro T-shirt this PXX. That'd be pretty cool. I wouldn't mind a Spyro
He's
trilogy.
only done that at PSX, right? The shirt
Yes,
thing?
he said E3 is more professional, more
Business suit.
Yeah, that's what he said to me at not to me at PSX, but he was talking to us in a little group.
So like at last year's E3 though, they all had the little ribbon to support, the shooting, the victims of the shooting. But maybe he can take a a hint from Reggie Fils-Aime. I don't even know how to say his name. Reggie from Nintendo, and wear a lapel pin.
Has like a little Spyro head. Oh God.
Yeah, or something like some whatever game they're gonna surprise announce immediately.
Right.
Or wear a tie that has
little purple tie,
the colors
flames.
of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh. Cerny back on Spyro after that too.
But I just know that there was a tweet from Sony XDev and then Shuhei Yoshida talking about how they're working on several titles that are VR. So there's definitely stuff going on that we haven't heard about.
Oh, PlayStation is what? Is it the biggest? Is it the biggest branch of Sony now?
It's the most profitable for sure.
Okay, so you definitely know that Sony's probably putting tons of extra money into PlayStation, to keep the ball rolling, more games all the time.
Well, they've also been restructuring all their European studios and been working with different indies.
Because I saw this morning where the former head boss of Lionhead Studios joined London Studio. And he's the VP of. He's the VP of. Wait, I'm sorry. Is he the president or the director of VR development? There we go. Whew, okay, sorry about that.
Nice.
Because I joked and said his first project is Tall. And somebody was like, "Oh my God, really?" I'm like, "Dude, did you read the article?" He's like, "Maybe." I'm like, "I'm joking, dude. That would be kind of Tall Tale. Yeah, come on, man. Like, I know it's a bad joke, but read the article next time. Don't be, ooh, cool." But yeah, he joined London
Lee
Studio.
Wolf, about that, Knack 2.
Starting back, yeah. Hey, I mean, Knack 1 was fun. We beat it. Me and my son did.
There was an interview about it though, because it is a game that suffered from many things that other games that launched on PS4 and any launch games suffer from: limited time, limited resources.
Yeah. It was like my fiance
and
said.
an unknown quantity being the PS4 final hardware and software development kit. Like, what was it before it launched? You know, like it was in development. So there was an interview. I think it was Polygon.
Yeah.
Maybe it was Eurogamer. I don't know. Where he basically goes and briefly like mentions as they kind of pry into it about it that they're rectifying basically everything that was wrong with the first one. And it's less of a showcase this time and more on about, you know, what is the gameplay that people wanted. I guess he didn't realize how many people wanted more platforming.
Yeah, I heard that.
And also way more save points.
Yeah, you die, then you're halfway to the stage. Oh no. Yeah.
Or just like you're right before the save point and you like die and you're like way back at the beginning of the level or halfway through the level.
Son of a. I mean, like I said, I liked the first one. It wasn't anything amazing. My son loves it. I mean, we beat it using
it was a good good kind of like for sure
launch title
level game for kids and stuff, but because it is Mark Cerny and because it is a classic platformer, I think there's all these people who were the audience that were older and they didn't plan for that, you know?
Well, the co-op mode was like half-assed because you were just pretty much like a little offspring of Knack, and you only could last like 2 or 3 hits and you were dead.
Once in a while.
Yeah, my son, I would run into the room and attack people, and then he would follow behind me because, you know, the game can get a little difficult. So I would kind of be his distraction, so they would attack me first. But I mean, it worked. But I'm excited about the co-op mode for the second game. I mean, it sounds like they're actually.
When Shuhei announced it, though, like he's like a game for friends and family, and then they showed Knack too. I was like, oh.
Yeah.
But I really do hope it's good because Cerny has been like instrumental in a lot of the best games of the last 25 years.
Yeah, he's had his hand in everything.
The Hedgehog 2 and such were like. They exist in the way they do and some of the technology that they pulled off because of him.
Because of what he figured out. Good job, Mike.
Yeah, Cerny Games worked, with a lot of inter-developer stuff to figure out technologies and the right people to be put together, you know?
Yeah, he's definitely a big part of PlayStation now. It's kind of crazy how he's like this big figurehead for him.
Brah wants Spider-Man big time.
Hey man, I'm excited for it. That's my favorite superhero.
Spider-Man. Let's go be some
Spider-Man. Yeah. Spider-Man, Captain America. Even though Captain American's kind of dull sometimes. Right now he's a bad guy, and we won't get into that because that's a whole different discussion. What the hell? Can we just consider Deep Down from Capcom dead at this point? Man, you can never say never in video games. Never.
They showed that off in those live streams in low res. It was procedurally generated dungeon crawling. It had some cool ideas. I really wanted the fluid simulation to make it into more stuff. You know? Because that was always sick. The fluid simulation of the fire and stuff.
That was crazy.
That is what I really wanted more of.
Yeah.
But
the fire just.
We'll see.
I'm still saying Onimusha. Bring Onimusha back.
Yeah, I think there's other stuff Capcom can use that engine for or have been using.
Onimusha.
At the same time, I think Deep Down is another candidate for a potential VR game.
Right. Oh, that'd be kind of cool.
Or a free-to-play experiment of some sort.
Kind of like Let It Die. Oh! Ow! You danced on my dead body. Thank you. What a swell guy, Pete.
But other than that, I have no idea. I think Deep Down may, in fact, be what you just were a moment ago.
Yeah. Deep Down, we don't know. Onimusha equals love. Hell yeah. Capcom did reissue the trademark for Deep Down. I think
Onimusha, or even like a...
Onimusha.
Who's the company, and I could be completely off here, but who's the company that did Bushido Blade?
Square Enix published it, right? I don't remember who the developer was.
I think it's about time we get another Bushido Blade.
Ooh, that game was fun.
Something like that. We got a kind of version of that with Oh my goodness, what is the game that just came out? It
Oh,
is a bunch of medieval slash samurai slash.
For Honor.
Yeah, so For Honor had
Yeah.
some elements that made me really want Bushido Blade.
A game that it's already heard the online's dead already. Like, oh,
Yeah,
sorry guys.
I enjoyed some of it, but that gameplay loop was just not for me. I
Yeah, I
think
didn't.
there's some promise there, but they need to re-look at like how to apply that.
I played it at PSX. I was like, I think I'll be okay. Like
Yeah,
I'll just wait.
I don't know. We are literally where Cerny said we were going to be a gaming renaissance. There's so many games,
Yep.
many of which are so good. Even just this first quarter for PlayStation was nuts.
Yeah, 2017. Oh my gosh, man.
Nier,
Yeah.
Neo,
Persona
Horizon,
5, Horizon, Yakuza 0.
Gravity Rush 2.
Yeah, it just.
It was insane, and a lot of it's Japanese. But
Yes.
speaking of
Resident Evil
Horizon,
7.
how do you think they're going to handle it? Do you think we're going to see the DLC at E3?
Hold on, I think I got to sneeze. Okay, sorry about that.
Gesundheit.
Yeah, I held it in. But my original predictions, I had it on there, but then I kind of thought about it. I was like, that might be too soon.
Do you think so?
Well, it came out I'm saying March, okay? February 28th is pretty much March, okay? April, May, June. It's only 3 months.
Do you think they'll save it for PSX?
That's what I was thinking. Maybe it comes out sometime the new year. Just so people can have plenty of time to beat it.
You're aware that they've been working on something new, right? Something other than Horizon.
Okay, that's right. The Killzone 5 rumor.
Well, I don't know about Killzone 5. It could be something else. Although I would love a VR Killzone.
Oh god, that'd be sweet.
Even if it's just like a remaster of some of them, or like I don't know, a new one would be good too.
I want to play as the
Hellgas. Would be best for VR.
Yeah.
But I think while they're working on that, and while they have Horizon, to the point where it's at, either there could be a surprise announcement from them of their new game teased. But that seems like fairly too soon.
Right.
And the DLC doesn't seem too soon, only because the DLC is likely set in or around the existing world that they've built and have been working on, and that procedural generation of content means they can get a teaser out and ride the hype that they built with the first game already, which will promote sales of the game.
Right.
Even though it's already one of the best-selling new IPs.
What, 2.6 million copies
sales
in
of the game
2 weeks?
While riding the hype from E3 itself and of the game, already existing, and they can at the same time, sort of, flaunt the fact that it has done so well for a completely brand new IP.
You're just saying like a tease, and then like it comes out next year or something like that, or this fall.
Yeah, exactly.
Or,
I don't expect the DLC to be immediate.
Yeah.
I don't know how soon they'll get it done or how big it'll be.
But
I think the tease is potentially something they could see. But again, it could be for PSX.
I can see PSX. Hey, it's out next week. Oh my god! Or,
that's exactly what I was thinking.
Please, please.
Killzone with the PlayStation aim controller would be amazing.
Dude, the aim controller is legit. You played Farpoint, right? So
Farpoint
it was.
I tried it, and I know a few people have the Killzone, the gun as well.
Yeah.
I think the move with the dual, 3D stereoscopic camera of the PS4 is better than ever.
Oh yeah. Somebody said
it was limited to the.
Oh god,
to the little 720p camera on PS3.
Yeah.
And the thing is, and here's the funny part, you know who made a big deal about this?
Who's that?
Media Molecule.
Oh,
when they presented their idea for Dreams before they even called it Dreams, they talked about how they're trying to come up with this process where you can make anything, blah blah blah. But how could you do this? And then we finally fell back on the Move controller.
Move controllers.
We discovered just how great it was with the stereoscopic 3D camera.
Yeah. The precise.
The tracking is so much crazy. Killzone as Hellgas. I think
that's what I want. That is what I want.
Something like that would be cool. You know what I really think though is Farpoint and Killzone need VR multiplayer.
I know Farpoint has the co-op.
Right. Sorry, I meant Killzone should look at what they're doing with Farpoint's co-op and have multiplayer VR.
Gotcha. Yeah, that would be pretty sweet.
And I think some of the people who left Cambridge, the studio that was shut down.
Yeah, Guerrilla Cambridge.
I think they have experience working on VR multiplayer with
The
rigs.
rigs, yeah.
So there's already some stuff there about how how you deal with that.
Did you like the rigs nod in Horizon? That was pretty cool.
Oh, the stadium, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, oh, that's so cool. I geeked out. It was funny.
I think it was it. It's not expressly said, or maybe it is that Rigs takes place in the same universe as Killzone.
I'm not entirely sure, to be honest with you.
It takes place like before they leave the planet.
Oh, okay. So,
and then I believe
does that mean
because
Horizon?
of what we see in Horizon, it's also the same universe.
Oh, that would be a crazy twist, dude.
If you think about it,
holy crap!
People leave they leave Earth in 2400.
And okay, yeah.
Oh no, I'm sorry, that's wrong.
Yeah,
I believe Killzone takes place in 2400 after they've already left Earth a long time ago.
Oh, okay.
So that could line up with
that would be nuts if they pulled something like that off. Yeah. Well,
I don't remember offhand what year it was when like the machines went crazy.
Oh,
2060.
I don't remember. Yeah, it's because it was years. No,
regardless, everyone
years,
died. So unless people left the planet, like it may not be be at all. But there is definitely nods to each other.
Right, which is really cool.
And Death Stranding, obviously, the little Easter eggs.
Yeah, that was really neat. My fiance was like, "Babe, look what I got! It's the Death Stranding little logo."
I think it would be beneficial in some way to include some sort of teaser and maybe the trailer, the actual trailer at PSX for the DLC of Horizon.
Right.
But again, a surprise VR push could be a Killzone with full VR and aim controller support and non-VR gameplay. Where you can play both, kind of like Resident Evil 7.
Guerrilla supported 3D.
You can play Killzone like this, or you can play it all in VR.
Remember when Sony was all about the 3D televisions and all that? Killzone. I went to E3 in 2010 with PlayStation Lifestyle. I remember going to the conference. They gave us glasses, and Killzone was in 3D. Like, oh my gosh, it's so neat, you know. So
I thought that was neat.
Yeah,
and
it was
also,
pretty neat.
Motorstorm Apocalypse.
Yeah, that was great in 3D, man.
Like just seeing all the debris flying around. It was a little low res, but it was still really cool.
Support, right? Yeah, because the gun.
Mm-hmm.
So we know Guerrilla supports Sony's, initiatives and their technology. So, Killzone 4 in VR with the aim controller. That's just money right there. That's just launch that package. Go ahead. It's gonna sell. It's gonna move. Don't worry. Hopefully.
I mean, I think Sony has also learned not to push too hard on their first parties to implement stuff now. But I
don't think so.
The fact that VR is not just Move and it's not just a 3D TV is a compelling reason for the studios to be like, yeah, we want to do that.
Right. Because heck,
like somebody asked earlier about Detroit.
Yeah.
Do we think it's this year? And personally, because of the scope and scale of a interactive drama and the giant script and characterization and just the amount of work that goes into it and the amount of games coming out, I personally feel like Detroit will be next year. But it's quite possible, since we don't have that many interactive dramas that I'm aware of coming out this year, that it is this year.
What's the girl's name? Kara? That's the female character. Yeah. They just finished filming her scenes. I think it was in the beginning of March. All the motion capture scenes.
That's fine though. That doesn't mean that it wouldn't come out this year, because a lot of mocap ends the same year the game releases. Really?
Okay. So I didn't know that. I thought they did the mocap first, and then they went. I thought it was concurrent.
It's an ongoing process. So like if you look at behind the scenes of any major game that has mocap, even Uncharted, they were still recording lines of dialogue and motion capture stuff up until like the last half of the year.
That's crazy, dude. I thought they had it done way beforehand.
It's nuts, because sometimes they have to go back and change stuff. So they'll be like, okay, we need you back in here.
Yeah, this makes no sense.
And the game's coming out in 6 months or 3 months or whatever, so they'll delay the game, obviously.
Yeah. Okay, so.
While they mocap stuff earlier, the artists then take and work on all that they recorded a year ago, and they're working on those scenes and those things.
Right.
and then it's a pipeline, so they can't work on everything at once.
I,
It's
I'm high.
ongoing as script, and as like the
Mm.
technology that they can or can't do is prioritized, and if they have to cut a scene, for example,
Heck.
they won't ever record that, and they'll record
Mm.
something else.
Like I'm excited for Detroit, but I don't know how it would do in the holidays. I feel like it'd be
Oh,
overshadowed,
I agree. I agree.
even though it looks amazing. I mean, we watched the trailer for it the other night when we were in bed, and it looked, it reminded me how damn good it looked. But I just don't think it could hold up against Destiny 2 or Call of Duty or Star
Well, I
Wars
don't think it's quite
Battlefront.
in the same. I don't think it really goes up against those though, because it's a
But
completely different kind of game.
right, but I still think people would rather spend their money on something they could play with their friends too, and for
Right. There is the
yeah,
gaming renaissance. There's a lot of games,
yeah.
but the audience that
Whoa,
buys Detroit doesn't necessarily go
buy
up
the
against Call of Duty. Like
Pete
Call
Bro
of Duty guys are
games.
not going to necessarily go after that kind of game.
Yeah.
So there's still the potential that it may launch before or after that
Hey,
in that
you
same
start.
general zone. But I do think they've been trying to spread out their game releases. Like the beginning of the year is a huge thing now.
Yeah.
And the summer games and stuff. There's more stuff that could potentially happen, but there's all these ethics as well. It's like, how is VR and how is games releasing all year round that everyone's going to always be playing affecting, people going outdoors and having life? Like
Yeah. Well, I was gonna go outside
sitting
and go
around all day
camping,
playing
but
games.
yeah.
I
You
love
could.
video games, but I need to try to get out more, just in general, because it
Ooh.
is not good
Well,
to just be sitting around all day, every day.
right. Hey, can you start a new match? I don't know what the. You're the leader,
Oh,
aren't
yep,
you?
sorry, my
Yeah.
bad.
It's all good. I'm
Let's
sitting here looking at
do
the board.
any particular map?
The train. Yeah, there we go.
Train wreck?
Yeah, train wreck. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
I would be down for some aim control in RE7. That would be pretty sweet. You could just line the molded's head up and just boom!
I wish they would add that. Maybe
Booyah.
when they add the DLC, the story DLC,
Yeah.
that'd be nice to have.
'Cause
I mean, aiming with your head's kind of cool, but
yeah. Aiming with a gigantic plastic gun would be so much better.
yeah, or even just the move controllers as an option as well.
Because, I mean, sometimes you're sitting there trying to line the molded up and they duck out of the way. With that move, with the aim, you could just be like, nope, bam.
Mm-hmm.
Or if you're, the headshots would just be one after another, which might kill the game's difficulty a little bit, but still, it would be another game supporting it.
I think it could be good. I can see why they didn't add it at first, but the fact that they had VR in that whole game to begin with was interesting risk that they took.
I wonder
and has paid off.
I wonder if Sony came to them and talked to them about that, or they just saw the tech and were like, "Why don't we just make the whole game compatible?" If it was kind of a give and take, or if.
Well, I think because they were taking inspiration from the trend in like horror games that were first person, right?
Right. Yeah, Outlast and Amnesia and all those. I think Amnesia's first person, right? Yeah. It paid off.
But of course, they took their spin on it, and it's not like you can't defend yourself,
Yeah.
So, what's up?
Yeah, I'm definitely. I could see definitely there's going to be a big push for VR. I mean, I don't think it'll be like the whole show or half the show, but I think they'll have a lot of.
No, I think there'll be a
couple big
showcase
games
of titles that will have VR support.
Like Battlefront 2. I mean, come on, we all know there's going to be something.
So Sony has the rights to that as well, marketing, right?
Yeah, they got the rights to Battlefront 2, Call of Duty World War 2, and Red Dead Redemption
Destiny.
2. What'd I say?
You said
Battlefront
they
2.
also have Destiny.
Yes, correct. Yes, thank you. And that's four of the biggest multiplayer games coming out this year. That's pretty huge.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I'm not the biggest multiplayer guy in the world, but I mean, I know plenty of people that are, so I understand why they're going for it.
I just want more VR stuff. What if Destiny 2 has VR?
Oh god, that'd be cool. Well, I was waiting on Destiny 2, but now I gotta buy it because I want to play these trials. Or
I don't know if it will, unless Scorpio also gets VR down the road. I'm not sure how they're going to handle that, and I don't even know if it'll be 60 frames per second this time.
Oh yeah,
because it was 30 last time.
Yeah, because They're working on a new engine for Destiny, aren't they? It's not going to be the same one.
I'm sure
Okay,
there's some major changes to it for sure, especially for it to look good. But that also means that they might not target 60
gotcha.
on console, you know?
Yeah, never mind. I like your dance. Get it,
I'm
boy.
gonna go hang out on this tank over here. Let's get lit on this E3 news here. Because we got Lost Legacy is the next thing. How do you get on this tank?
I don't know. I was about to ask you.
They don't want me to get on the tank.
Oh, man. This is our proudest moment in the flaming tank. Well, never mind. No tank action. Oh, you got it. Lucky.
Nope.
What happened? Hold on.
I tried ooh.
There we go.
Outlined.
I'm king of the tank. Oh, sorry. Do your little dance. Okay, we're having too much fun.
Okay,
but no,
yeah,
like I was saying,
right here.
I thought it was going to be Spider-Man, and then they're going to jump to the third party exclusivity they had, the marketing deals, kind of get them out of the way. Now, Battlefront 2, Destiny 2, World War 2, I mean Call of Duty, and then Red Dead at some point.
Do you think they'll split those up during their presentation?
Yeah, I'm just saying like they'll throw them in there, just kind of. You know, it might be like, hey, here's Spider-Man, then here's, Battlefront 2, then here's...
That's one of the things that pace is important.
Yeah.
They're very important, because they have so many big games.
Right.
And I don't know how many they're going to show when they're going to also put them at, PSX, maybe Gamescom or Paris Games Week and stuff.
Because they skipped Gamescom last year, right? They didn't have a conference, did they?
Right, but they're going to be like games that are coming to PS4.
Yeah. That'll
be there. I'm just saying, like, how many games are they going to pack at once?
Yeah.
And then these big heavy hitters that are third parties, like, are they going to all be in one section again? Are they going to spread those out? Because, like, that's kind of what made 2015 so big, is that they spread out some things, but then they had those 3 huge games one after another with only, like, small kind of breaks between.
Because didn't they show, like, World of Final Fantasy, and then they showed the FF7 remake? People were like, come on, guys.
Honestly, some people complained that they should have been backwards, but really, from a psychological standpoint, that low point, which was a high point for some people, but it was really a low point for everyone who's like, oh, I want Final Fantasy VII Remake, or I want this or that. They threw everyone off.
Yeah. Oh, here's a...
And for people who are like, oh, this looks like a mobile game, which technically it was.
Right. Hey, it's pretty fun. Don't get me wrong.
Then they followed up with Final Fantasy VII, and it made it even more dramatic of a hit,
Oh my god. Hashtag Megaton.
Then you get that roller coaster effect where you're like, oh, this isn't exactly what I want, and then you get what you want.
My fiance was hyped. She was like, that looks really fun and cute. I'm like, oh yeah, that's cool. Then of course the 7, I was like, oh my god. She's like, what?
So they got both
what's
of
the
you,
big
right?
deal? Yeah, exactly. They got her, and they got me.
Now, if they would have done it the other way, they would have gotten you, and she might be confused, and then she'll see the one she likes, and you'll be like, whatever.
Yeah. Such a loser, man. Dirty casual.
So I think approaching those things in the right order and the right pace of the show would be like what really sticks, because that's kind of what makes shows big. And also what can be detrimental when you do it wrong, and it's all about TV, sports.
Yeah,
then you have a problem.
Sports. TV. Yeah. Oh, God. Now you're getting that in my head. Yo, Brandon.
Experience.
What up, Brah? Yeah. That was pretty bad.
Yeah, and so that's why, like, even though people disagree about who had the best showings last few years, the average outcome from most of the websites was that Sony has had the best E3s, simply on the sheer number of games and, like, big announcements that, like, had people freaking out.
Oh, hell, man. Last year's, I thought because it was like an hour and 15 minutes last year. It was shorter than normal.
Yeah, they definitely cut some corners for what,
But, I mean, it was just...
respect to what happened.
It was just like bam, 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 bam. I mean, it was game after game after game.
I think that's one of the big key things that we've noticed is between PSX and E3, they've been having less talking heads, less... We've had this much market share and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, I want to hear that shit.
We've been doing good, and this is why. And then they show,
the games,
rather than tell.
Yeah. My fiance was sad that Adam Boyes wasn't on stage with all the indie games and stuff. She thought he was hilarious.
Yeah, although to his credit,
He's so
Boy's back
funny.
in the thick of it, right? He's
Yeah.
back in the development side of
Developer,
it.
yeah. She always thought it was so fun. Like, I love him. Why isn't he on the show? Well, I think he did. He leave at that point? Was he? He was there last year, wasn't he? No, or he left already? Can't remember. Yeah, he already left, and she was all, "What?" It was kind of cute.
My favorite part is
Yeah.
Bobby, and he does the indie game.
Right. Well, he did. He did. I thought Adam didn't he unveil Final Fantasy VII Remake? Wasn't he like the guy like, "Hey, check this out"?
It was great because he came out.
He was there
And
for
he was
Shinmu,
like-
right? Yeah.
Yeah, he was like, okay, what do we do? I did this, covered this. All right, we did everything.
Yeah.
he was like counting. He's like, yeah, I announced everything, or we
Yeah.
announced everything that we could.
Right. Except for this. Oh my god.
Mm-hmm.
Because let me ask
And
you
while
about.
I love
Okay.
Final Fantasy VII and I love
Uh-oh.
The Last Guardian,
Uh-oh.
Shenmue was the biggest one for me just because I'm a huge Shenmue fan.
Let me ask you something about Shinmu. I've heard in the
I'm a
past.
huge Yuji Naka fan, to be
Okay.
specific.
Yeah. I heard in the past that he shopped around Shinmu 3 to all three, and the only person that really said something was Sony, right?
Mm-hmm.
Didn't Microsoft turn it down like, I don't know? And Sony was the only one that
Honestly,
said, well, hell yeah.
I don't know what's going on there. I think it was Sega. It was the problem.
Oh, how
They
to
weren't
get the
really
rights
interested.
to it?
They didn't know how to approach
Uh-huh.
the Shenmue thing. And Microsoft had Shenmue 1 and 2, but it didn't do that well
Yeah, on the Xbox.
on Xbox because
Yeah.
it was just this unknown quantity for them
Yeah.
when they were trying to make a name for themselves,
Right.
in the world of gaming.
Because how does it work? Does he own the rights to 3 but not 1 and 2? Does Sega still own the rights to those?
Well, he
or?
owns the rights to whatever he's working on,
Okay.
but the actual Shenmue
Bam.
IP is still Sega's.
So they'll get a part of the pie
And
then?
he managed to get their blessing that if they can
Uh-huh.
make enough money to make the game,
Yeah.
he can use the IP and they'll just take royalties or whatever.
And is Sony publishing it? No?
Yes, I believe so.
So I guess are they helping develop it any? Are they funding the
Or they're
development any?
marketing it,
Or
I think.
okay. It's
I
kind of
don't know how much they're involved. I mean, I
Okay.
could imagine, depending on how big the game gets,
yeah.
that they might step in and pay for part of it. And if they
Yeah.
get full exclusivity, besides, I think right now it's just PS4, PC.
Okay, that's what I thought. It was kind of it's kind
So-
of confusing in a way. You kind of look at it, you're like, so is Sony helping develop it, or are they just publishing it? Does Sega still own the front?
They're more than likely helping develop,
Okay.
not financially necessarily,
Mm-hmm.
but support-wise, where they're saving them in lieu of financials. They're like,
Okay.
here's the software development kits, here's this, here's that.
Yeah, it's all free.
In
You deserve
exchange for, and we'll also pay for some of the marketing
Yeah.
so that we get it on our system. Because honestly, even though
Do jumping
Sega,
jacks.
Dreamcast, and all that's gone, it's the PlayStation's the
Okay.
biggest platform that was making games come back.
Gotcha. Right.
And they've given so much freedom to so many studios, small and large, that it makes sense for them to want it on there. Since
Yeah.
the thing that I cited the other day was that Heavy Rain
Oh yeah. Great
is
game.
so different from what you get.
Yeah.
Normal games that Microsoft was like, nah.
No thanks.
Both because it involved kids and because
Yeah.
it just wasn't what they wanted.
Some mature themes. Very mature
And
themes.
Sony was like, yeah, we'll let you do that.
I feel like Sony's kind of like, if you had a crazy idea, they'd be like, okay, why not?
I think Square does that from time to time too, like Life is Strange.
Oh yeah, just kind of take those.
I think Square
Take those chances.
let them have that crazy story / it was really dark and touched on some really dark things in the real world. But Square let them go along with it,
That's Brandon. Okay.
I think that's really important for the creativity to be allowed
Yeah.
for things that are not normal. Because when you hear people put things down, Left Behind was put down, because it wasn't what they wanted. It wasn't the exact same thing that the first game was, that The Last of Us itself.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, we don't want the politics in here and this and that. It's like, what do you think this game is? What do you think games are? They are art.
Yeah, it's art.
They are
man.
literally what the writers and directors are feeling
Right.
and want to express. And if they're personality and their personal beliefs are not a part of it, you're not going to get a real game. You're going to get this generic thing that you can, buy multiple copies of on iOS, on the clone games. Like, real games have actual meaning behind the reason they exist.
Right. I mean, that doesn't bother me.
The stories they tell may be like, they may be big and explosive and this and that, but the stories they tell fundamentally come from a place
in the heart.
Yeah, they come from the mind of a person who's a human being who has beliefs, who has, things in their life that affect them. Like, crazy. I just saw a really cool mini documentary on Vice, I think it was, about the developer of Hyper Light Drifter.
Oh yeah, I got that game. Fun.
Yeah, so the creator of that game could die at any moment.
What?
I know that sounds ridiculous, but basically, sorry, he's got like a heart condition that means that he could basically pass away at any point,
Damn.
And he imbued that feeling and that kind of fear and that craziness into that game. And it's all about like the fear and like the potential for death at any moment and stuff was in that game.
That's cool. I didn't know that, man.
And now that he was able to pull that off, though, he's happy that he was at least be able to create a game that he was happy with.
Yeah, it's a great game. His team did a fantastic job with it. I think some of the
best games, like The Last of Us, which takes a lot of familiar tropes and turns them on their side, is important. It's the concept is shared, but the actual like how the story plays out and this and that, it comes down to the person behind it and like the people, involved in their look on life. Like, it'll affect you always, no matter what you're doing.
I know that some people
Even
don't
if
like.
It's completely subconscious.
Yeah, I know some people don't like Neil because he brings issues like that into the game. But it didn't bother me. It's like, I want to play The Last of Us 2 and be blown away. I'm not going to be like,
that's why I'm excited for Lost Legacy. Because it takes place in India and it's 2 female leads technically, and it's about the issues that they're experiencing over there.
Mm-hmm. And see, that stuff doesn't bother me. Some people are like, I can't believe they're bringing real issues into games. I can't play them. I can't enjoy them. Like, dude, come on.
People were saying, oh, they made
still
Ellie,
enjoy them.
They made Ellie a
lesbian
just because. It's like, no, not just because.
No.
It was always a question mark whether or not she was and how she was brought up and who she was brought up around.
Yeah.
And that life experience she has as a character is really compelling, and there's not enough of that in games at all.
Yeah.
So just having that expression, because Neil probably being in LA and stuff in Santa Monica probably knows a lot of people who may not be straight, it's just the natural thing for him, to do that. And here's the crazy thing. The Last of Us 2 has a woman co-writer.
Yeah. That's pretty cool.
And she worked on Westworld, which is such a
crazy,
interesting show,
different show,
super dark and super human, which is interesting to say about a show about robots, but
right. I haven't finished the season yet, so it's full.
At the same time, Uncharted was originally written by a woman.
Yes. Oh, Amy Hennig, right?
Yeah, Amy Hennig, a lovely, lovely lady.
Oh, you met her?
I got to meet her at the Uncharted 2 sneak preview event. Where we all won a free copy of the game.
Yeah, I'll just brag about it. It's okay. It's cool. Go ahead.
I'm not bragging about
it. I know, dude. I'm
just saying I met her there.
It's awesome.
I just was surprised by just how lovely she was. And how, not cynical, I don't know what the word is. I brought up how the sequence in Uncharted 2 where you're running at the screen felt just like, Crash.
Yeah, I know, right?
And she laughed and she's like, yep, the same old gameplay still makes it into the brand new games.
Yep. Next gen graphics and
she was tasked with writing a story, and some people necessarily don't care about the story in Uncharted, but I've always thought they are great pulp action stories.
They are, man.
And the characters themselves were the best part.
Yep. I beat Uncharted 4. I had a little tear, man. I was like, wow,
she wasn't directly involved with the majority of that in the end, but she set up those characters from the beginning.
Uncharted 4. At the end. It was
so.
It wasn't sad, but it was just kind of a great moment.
I teared up at the end of it, man. I teared up at the end because I knew it was the last part of their story.
I know, man. You're playing to the daughter, and you're like, oh my god, I can't believe it's the daughter.
Spoilers, but it's this full circle thing that the way the prologue and epilogue and all that.
Exactly,
those games
dude.
work. It's just
full
Uncharted 3 basically had you play the epilogue. I'm sorry, the prologue.
Yeah.
Where you're young Drake.
Yeah. That was really cool.
And then 4 revisited that same idea, but they kind of retconned or whatever his brother,
Yeah,
which it
that
made
was
sense
kind
because
of
it filled some gaps, kind of.
right. Then
But then they went the other way
wee
and did that ending, and
wee.
it was just, man,
Yeah,
it was just so good.
dude. I was sitting there, I'm like,
I
well,
wish
I'm
the
playing.
game had more combat in it and stuff, and I know
Yeah,
they cut out some of the combat sequences because they ran out of time, but
yeah.
oh
Oh
man,
no.
well I think Lost
Yeah,
Legacy will have some of those things that they couldn't pull off,
I kind of see
and also
Lost
I think it's going to
Legacy.
be open world-ish,
Yeah,
maybe.
maybe one huge world instead of just like
It's one big India
yeah, rather than going
landscape.
to jumping all over the world like you did in the other games. It's just India.
So
You're there.
I'm pretty sure we're going to see a decent like trailer, even if it's not like a extended gameplay.
Yeah.
We're probably going to see a Lost Legacy trailer.
You know what's going to be? It's going to be like the characters go to some high peak, and then they spin the camera around, showing this amazing world they created, and everybody cheers. Yeah, that's what they
Now,
always do.
on that note, do you think we're going to see The Last of Us 2?
Ah, I didn't put that in my predictions.
Because that's a tricky one. A lot of people
Yeah.
really want to see that.
Oh well, hell yeah, we do. I want to see it, but
But I think Naughty Dog doesn't want to take away from Lost Legacy
yeah,
while at the same time being like, hey, it's still a thing. But they made clear at PSX last
yeah,
year
it ain't coming out
that it's
anytime
very
soon.
early in development.
Yeah. I actually met a guy that worked for Naughty Dog when I was waiting in line to play Crash Bandicoot.
Mm-hmm.
He was a texture artist, and he was working on The Last of Us, Last of Us 2. He's like, and I said, my friend asked about Naughty Dog, and I said they pretty much set the bar, and everybody has to reach that. You guys kind of set that bar. He's like, oh man, that means so much to me. And no one's ever said something like that, and that makes me feel really good about what I'm doing. And like, what are you working on? Like The Last of Us 2. I'm like, oh, come on, man. Then he gave me his business card. I was like, oh my god, he's totally legit working for Naughty Dog.
Nice.
But no,
Yeah, but a
yeah,
bunch of the dogs were there.
yeah, man, it was so cool.
It's their backyard, so it's
Yeah,
like easy for them to kind of go visit.
The Last of Us 2 should take a break. Yeah, I'm not saying they shouldn't mention it, but I just think they should
Yeah,
give it
I
more
don't know if we're going to
time.
see it. I think they might focus on, you know,
Bam. Sorry.
they might focus on it at PSX because
Yeah,
they're
gameplay.
gonna exactly they're gonna wait till
Yeah,
they get a little further and maybe release Lost Legacy,
yeah. Like
riding high
August,
on its own merits because that's in
right?
August, right?
Yeah, August 29th,
Yeah,
something like that.
something like that, 29, 27. Regardless, that means they can give it more showtime and really sell because we showed some gameplay, but not
Yeah,
really like an overall
29th.
story.
Right.
So having a nice big trailer would be good.
That was really cool though.
Oh,
Everybody's
it really
like,
was.
"What game is this?" And people are like, "Oh, wait a minute, is that Chloe?" Okay, it's not. It's Uncharted. Sweet. You guys think
And
we'll
also
see?
just because it'll be the last time they really get to show it at a big show
Yeah.
in America or Europe.
Mm.
When's Paris Games Week?
October, I believe.
Yeah, so it'll be too late then,
Yeah. Too late.
And I
You,
think The Last of Us they can save it either for
mm,
PSX or next year's E3.
yeah, I'd
Just
save
because
it.
there's so many other games that we're going to be thinking about anyway.
Exactly. Uh, No, that kid said, "You guys think we'll see more Death Stranding?"
That's what I was about to get to because
Yeah.
as we're talking about all these huge titles, Death Stranding.
I think it's going to close the show and they're going to have the
I
the
think Kojima's
female
already there.
already there.
No,
Already there.
he was talking about being there rather, and so is
Yeah.
his boyfriend. What's his name?
What? Oh, Mads Mikkelsen or
No, not Mads is not his boyfriend.
oh,
It's
Jeff
his
Keighley.
unofficial boyfriend.
Jeff Keighley, yeah. Talk about an odd
Jeff.
couple. They're such an odd couple. It's like, hey, he's a goofy
They're
white
just really
guy.
good
and then
friends, though. You can tell that
yeah,
Jeff really wanted to put it out there that
yeah.
they're really good friends.
Hey, this is like my best
Whatever,
friend, man. We do all
like
kinds of cool stuff together.
I think Jeff Keighley's
Sure,
also just
Jeff.
been in like these positions where he's seen some of these great people be
He's a
put
big
in really
gamer
tough
guy,
situations.
journalist. Right.
He's been this showcase guy, and he does a pretty decent job of putting up really cool ideas. But I wasn't the biggest fan of the Video Game Awards, but I was there.
Do you remember when Jeff interviewed that guy in the cast, the facial cast for Metal Gear Solid 5?
Maybe.
It was like he was talking to him. Was like, "What's up with this?" And the guy was like, "Oh," I'm like, "What is this shit? Come on, Kojima."
Oh, you're talking about Team Real, Team Fake.
Yeah, like the guy had the
the bandage face guy.
The bandage face. Sorry, the bandage. I was like, "What is this?" Moby Dick Studios.
This is silly stuff for sure.
Yeah, but no, I think that he'll come out in the show and reveal the female lead. It won't be any gameplay because.
You mean Emma Stone?
Oh, I fell for that. Sorry.
I wouldn't be mind if it was her.
Oh, I wouldn't mind at all. But
I'm not talking about the Photoshop picture or whatever. But I'm just saying, which could be real, by the way.
Yeah.
You know why?
Why's that?
It's a mock-up.
Oh, gotcha. Somebody sitting there drawing.
It could just be a mock-up that he did. Be like, "Hey, Emma Stone, what if you're this character?"
Yeah.
And she's like, "All right."
Okay, I won an Academy Award, but okay. Yeah.
Dude, so that's the thing, right? People say stuff like, "Oh, she won an Academy Award."
Yeah.
Like, so what? She was Sleeping Dogs.
Yeah. I was hoping for Scarlett Johansson, but I guess Emma Stone will do. I mean, whatever.
That might be a little tougher because they want her in every
Avengers movie,
movie they can.
Yeah. But no, I think he'll come out there. It'll be the female, she does something crazy, playing with babies.
I don't know if we'll see gameplay. I would love to see some gameplay.
No.
But it'll more than likely just be another
crazy
real-time cutscene.
Because he talked.
Said,
oh, sorry. Go ahead.
That said, I do think Death Stranding is another one that they could totally open with.
Yeah, with the orchestra.
Close with.
Yeah.
With gameplay that leads into a small trailer. And I'm
well,
not saying gameplay that's like super expansive and detailed, expresses everything, but just a snippet of gameplay to give you an idea.
2 seconds.
Of one of the ways that you'll be able to play this crazy game.
Whatever it is, yeah.
And then it's done with the girl or with the guy.
Because
the male lead.
Here's the way I saw it. Well, here's what happened. I know it. Was it Tribeca Games Festival they had recently?
Mm-hmm.
I know Kojima said that
Tribeca
they're working.
Festival, yeah.
Thank you. They were working on the game, and they're not quite. I think it's full development, but they're kind of working on scenarios for the game, like how the character would look in New York. I'm just like, what?
And he was talking about how they basically have the start to finish outlines, but now they're figuring out the details of the environments and stuff.
So.
Now, what that means, though,
I just don't see gameplay, dude.
They have a vertical slice.
You think so? You really think so?
If it's Decima Engine and they're working with procedural generation of like environmental detail, it's entirely possible they can generate enough of a good quality area just to show a snippet of what the game might be like, and then cut into a trailer. Right. That's what the trailers are too. The trailers are basically small slices of what the game will have, but we don't know the actual gameplay yet.
Yeah, because it probably changes by the time it comes out.
I think it's important that even though it's probably another year or two out or whatever, if they show... This is my buddy Warwolf, by the way. He probably has no idea we're streaming. I can message him on
oh, okay. I'm wondering, like, do you know who this is?
Yeah, he just joined me because we're friends.
It's all good.
Luckily, I think I can actually log into the PlayStation website and message him on there, which is interesting.
Ooh.
I don't even know when they added that, but it showed up for a while ago.
He's just sitting there throwing money around. What's that?
You can log on PlayStation.com and like your messages and stuff are there.
Oh, that's cool. No, I never go on the website that much.
That used to not be a thing.
Oh, interesting.
They started with the app, and then like now you can go on PlayStation.com and message people and stuff. Yeah. It's weird.
Yeah. Good job, Sony.
I'm gonna send him a link right now. Yeah. Boom.
Dude, you're totally on live stream. Oh my god.
He's gonna be like, whoa.
Yeah. That was interesting.
He's got a mystical going.
But no, I definitely think Death Stranding is going to be there in some capacity. Either it's closing the show, like you said, opening it maybe.
Yeah, there's no way it's not there, only because... Yeah.
Because I said that Kojima materializes out of thin air, then all of a sudden, oh my god.
You see what I'm holding?
A football, I think. No, what is that? What is
that? It's an elephant.
Oh, an elephant. Look at a football, sorry. I got a fist. I can do this. I can point at you. Loser! But no, yes, I definitely think, like I said, Death Stranding will be there. It's going to be big. They want to be all flashy with it. Be like, hey guys, look at our game. And of course,
He just blew
Kojima.
himself off the ledge, man. That's great.
Aw. And you know how Kojima is. He likes the spotlight. I mean, he won't admit that, but we all know he does.
Of course he does. What I mean is that I'm pretty positive he will be there.
Oh, yeah.
There
He'll
may
definitely
even
be
be a
there.
panel that he's at to describe more of the game again.
Yeah.
Because he likes those too, I think, just to get feedback from people.
Yeah.
But what could be really good is, like I said, a snippet of gameplay.
Yeah, just a 1 minute.
Or just an idea, if they don't, alongside that reveal, just to give you more than the same. Because the first two were cool, since they feel like they're taking place at the same time, based on those comparison videos. But I don't want another one of those again, unless it really shows something new. You know, we got the male lead and his predicament, and then we got
being naked,
the potential villain or whatever that is. I think people think it's some sort of liquid metal kind of thing.
Yeah.
Right?
And how they're all connected to him with the cords and all that. I'm like, what on earth?
Have you seen those videos of like the magnetic metal? It's like there's a name for the liquid I can't think of right now.
Adamantium.
No,
no, I'm just playing with you.
No, it's
the T1000, the T2000.
Basically, it's the real life version of that we have right now. If you've seen those videos where they magnetize that black liquid,
I haven't seen that.
Have you seen that?
Nuh-uh.
They're all over YouTube. The metal, it's like a liquid metal that spreads out and makes weird patterns.
Huh.
They're like little spiky balls, and they'll twist and they'll do this and that based on the magnetic frequencies and stuff. So the idea is that that's a liquid, like nanomachine kind of thing, and it brings to life skeletons and stuff, which is why it's driving the tank in that whatever that organic material is.
Oh,
and the strands, literally power up his minions or whatever, his crew, and then they connect and go back into his body.
Damn, man. Kojima's always like one step ahead. He's always one step ahead.
I mean, I was one of the people who were looking at all the time travel, interdimensional, black hole, this and that stuff on the keychains, right?
Yeah.
And also, if you notice Mads Mikkelsen when he is doing, like, when he sends off his minions, right, to go down the sewer,
does a little finger,
and the strands go back into his body or whatever.
Correct. Yeah.
He's got a compass on his chest.
Oh, is it spinning crazy?
The compass is spinning erratically.
Okay, that's what I figured.
For just a moment. Which lends a little bit of credence into the potential of it being some sort of magnetic resonance or whatever, distortion.
I mean, it's cool to have the celebrities for that game and all the big money, but the gameplay is what I want to see the most of. I'm so interested in what the hell he has developed.
I think the thing is, though, the fact that Kojima's games are always so dialogue heavy.
Yeah.
That star power will play right into that, and having Mads Mikkelsen give compelling, or just intriguing, or really interesting and like crunchy dialogue will be cool.
Crunchy. Yeah, he's a.
I say crunchy, or it's like meaty, but like
there's
different.
depth to
it's not just meaty.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like that's why I like the audio from Horizon. Is when you listen to like the audio logs, there's this depth to it that like, you stop suddenly and you're like, whoa, I really like this little story they're telling.
Yeah, like the one soldier that wants to go back home and he's emailing his wife, and then she gets that one voicemail, and it was all
wants to go out with a bang rather than just be injected to sleep or whatever.
Yeah, it was. They did a great job with that, but I get what you're saying. I mean, I understand what Kojima's doing. It's probably costing a shitload of money,
he's
but
also free from making Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah, so he's like, freedom.
Yeah, so I think Mads is a great villain in a lot of movies.
Oh,
and just an amazing actor in general.
He is, dude. He's great. Sony's gonna let Kojima do whatever he wants to do, so I don't see them
within
saying
reason,
no.
Within
but
a big reason.
Yeah. Still, I think they're probably giving him more freedom than, let's say, some of their other studios. Just because he's such a big developer and everyone loves him. Oh my God, Kojima!
Well, I'm saying they're giving him as much freedom as they give a lot of their big studios, because they give their big studios so much free reign.
Right.
Because they've literally proved themselves. It's Naughty Dog. Guerrilla Games,
Sucker
even
Punch.
Quantic, who's not theirs, but they're
You could.
They definitely are waiting for party to be ready.
Did you hear about that though? That apparently there's another Quantic Dream game in production.
I don't see why not.
There was a job listing.
They're pretty big staff.
Yeah. Because remember each little development video they've had became a game, right? Wasn't there like a didn't Heavy Rain start off kinds of tech demo with was her name Madison? Was she the main girl? No, I forgot her name. But...
So that was a tech demo for their engine, yeah, and then Kara was also a tech demo.
And that became
for what would become
Detroit.
No, it was
Kara?
Beyond Two Souls.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
It was their engine tech demo, but Kara, it was the story that people kept asking them about.
Yeah.
So that became their next game after Beyond.
It was really intriguing, dude. Watching that video, I was like, this would be an awesome game. And then lo and behold, like,
that's kind of like this classic robot coming alive situation.
Yeah.
But the way they handled it and the way they had that actress handle it was really well done.
I don't want to die. And the guy like stops. I was like,
and the way they like let her out, you know, like they're like, well, just behave, you know.
Yeah.
I hope I think that part was the weakest part. Was like the dude talking to her.
Okay, go ahead.
The actress herself, I can't remember her name right now.
Valerie.
She's the only reason that I checked out The Following.
Yeah.
For a little bit.
But I could kind of see. Remember that tech demo they did with the actor, the old man, and the goblin.
Oh yeah, Sorcerer demo.
I could kind of see that becoming something. I don't know what it would become, but I could. I mean, it was compelling enough.
What they're working on. I'm curious if they're working on another drama
or a VR game. Ooh.
Or exactly, that's what I was gonna say. Either another interactive drama or something that was VR specific,
like a
or
VR
something
drama,
that's not an interactive drama. You know.
Yeah. We're making a shooter. We'll no.
No, I wouldn't say shooter, but maybe something that's more character action or RPG like. Within their graphics engine mostly just because they can deliver that visual fidelity at 60 FPS.
Yeah, whew.
Now, another thing I wanted to talk about, unless you have something else you want to get into, was Days Gone.
Days Gone. You know what's crazy about Ben Studios is they haven't tweeted since September of last year.
Busy.
I'm guessing they're just like balls to the wall crunch mode, man.
Maybe crunch mode, or maybe they just don't want to lead people into any direction.
I still
think it's such a missed opportunity.
For what?
To not make it set in the Last of Us universe.
Oh, make it like a spin-off.
Like Rogue One, like a Star Wars story.
Days Gone, a Last of Us story.
Exactly.
That would certainly sell more copies. That's for sure.
Maybe, but at the same time, it'd just be interesting to have a look at a game that's so different from those two.
Uh-huh.
And then later on, they run into each other, even if briefly, would be fun.
Oh my god!
But it being its own thing, they showed off. I don't even know what to call it. The DayZ or whatever, or was it World War Z movie tech?
Yeah.
Basically. That horde mentality, or it was even horde because they split up and stuff. But
the freakers,
that zombie tech was so good.
It was pretty crazy when they're all just running at him and falling over each other. I'm like, whoa!
The different playthroughs of that same environment, like how they did different approaches to the combat, was so cool. How
you got like that oil filter, put it on the gun, and made it to the silencer. That was pretty neat.
Yeah, so they did the different. They did the different approach to using the environmental, to block and to change the landscape, and then to build them up, and then crafting, and that's where I was like, okay, so it's this post-apocalypse. There's a motorcycle.
Hey, you want
kind of like crafting system, and there's zombie they're not necessarily zombies.
Yeah,
they're freakers.
They're infected.
They
gotta eat.
The infected are not zombies in The Last of Us. They're infected with cordyceps.
Hey, will you start another match real quick?
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah, sorry, I can't do it.
I thought I did. It wasn't letting me because it said.
Oh, okay. Ready. Sorry about that.
Were you customizing something?
I don't know what I was doing. I'm sorry. I just in the conversation.
Oh, no worries. I thought you might be messing around with some.
But no, I think it looks cool. I mean, I know they're moving to they're getting ready to move to a new headquarters at some point this year, so I'm sure that's part of
Mhm.
it too. But I mean, I'm not worried the development.
think
It's not going to work out.
they
The game is
deserve
going to.
a full trailer at this
Oh
point.
yeah,
You sure you're on my level?
Because all we know is that he had a wife.
yeah. He lost her,
It's
right?
the
Yeah.
post-apocalypse. There's things, but we don't really know much else other than like some of the gameplay.
Yeah. I could see
And I'm
another.
very curious about that world.
I could see them giving like a 10-minute trailer, kind of like God of War had last year.
Successful
Maybe.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Is like
Yeah.
either if they don't do another gameplay demo,
Uh-huh.
they have gameplay that you can try at the show.
Yeah, I definitely think that's going to happen. I definitely
and have
think you'll be
maybe
able to
3
play
minutes
it.
or 4 minutes dedicated to it as far as like a brief gameplay / overview of like the story, you know?
Because I think God
I
of
think that
War,
would be good.
War trailer they show at E3 would be more of a more action packed than the one we saw last time. That was
Because we didn't really see a trailer last time. We saw gameplay.
yeah. I think it'll be way. People are saying it's all about the story. I want to see gameplay. Oh, I think you'll see gameplay of God of War big time this E3.
I mean, all we really saw was basically like
Chasing the deer.
straightforward gameplay
Yeah.
with a little bit of cutscene. Where are you at, by
Right.
the way?
I don't know. I'm just running around. I'm sorry. I apologize.
I'm in the middle for now, in case you want to meet up around here.
What's up, Fred man? What's going on, bro?
Pretty hallway.
It's
I'm
me,
looking at
Multi-Pete.
Samurai.
This is our
Private
E3
guy.
predictions. E3. E3.
I think God of War will definitely make more prominent its big
Yeah.
stuff, you know?
Yeah, it's God of War. You're gonna. I mean,
Even if they just end on it, but like I think it'd be
Yeah.
great to show some of the things
Like
that fans were scared won't be there, but
Like
also
a-
showcase more of what is even happening. Like, why is
Yeah.
Kratos
Yeah, why does he have a
in,
kid?
Norse mythology suddenly?
Yeah. Well, I know David Jaffe originally talked about that in his. Was it his God of War 3 he wanted to do? It would be where Kratos took on the Norse gods or something like that. Do you remember that idea he
Yeah, I
had?
mean, they were talking about how he
Yeah.
imagined it being different, but he only really worked on the first one, blessed the second one,
Yeah,
and then was doing his own thing for a while, you know?
right. But I know.
think
What's up? What you think? Gaming Streets.
the potential story that, you know, Kratos ended up in this, like, frozen...
I'm
You
back.
know, he basically moved away from where he was in
Yeah.
the Greek area to
the
more
Norse
Nordic
area.
lands.
Yeah.
And
'Cause
then how do you end up with this kid, right?
Because the end
Is
of
that a
3.
mystery, or will we get more of that?
Because what happened at the end of 3? You had that huge hole in your stomach, right?
Yeah,
then-
you fell off the cliff after
Okay.
being assumed dead.
That's right. Okay. Yeah, I guess he just
And
sailed the
water was
ocean.
overpopulated with water, but I'm assuming once
Right.
Zeus and all that stuff was taken care of,
Yeah.
the Earth settled back down, you know?
Right. Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah,
Now,
a little bit. A little bit.
did he have a wife? Another wife? You know, did he...
Is it really
find
his
this
son?
kid and-
Yeah. That's what I'm thinking. He just.
You know, is that kid Thor?
Oh.
You know, or is that Thor's
yeah.
abandoned kid?
Dude.
Like, did Thor sleep with someone and then like
Oh, I'm
not-
full. Yeah.
not have not take care of his
Relation.
kid, but Kratos
Bad dad.
Kratos ends up with the kid
Yeah. Damn it, Thor.
because you noticed that he's got lightning arrows
Oh, that's true.
or electric arrows
Yeah.
from his bow.
See, I like the father son aspect of it.
Well, I think it'll be neat too.
Like,
I think it's
Like at the end when Kratos wanted to like hug him, but he pulled away. I was like, oh my god. I mean, I got a little emotional. I was like, whoa.
I think the whole rage
Yeah, flat
monster, god-killing Kratos being something that he's been overcoming and trying to stabilize is really interesting
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, it's
Like his rage meter goes up when he's yelling at his kid, you know? Like,
yeah.
that's a neat mechanic for sure.
It is, man. They've done a great job with revamping the series gameplay. I'll give them that. Like I said, that's one of my
definitely
most
think,
hyped games.
we should see a little more of the story and more of the
Yeah.
epic action
Stop.
from that we're used to,
Yeah,
even if it's more personal or intimate, whatever, just to like know what's really going on because they
Yeah.
showed so many potential enemies
Mhm,
crammed
that-
and hidden into that trailer or into that gameplay thing.
that damn dragon at the end. Like, oh my god.
Oh yeah, the
whatever it
planet
was.
eater or whatever.
Yeah, I could see him
World-eating
riding on.
snake.
I could see him riding on that, beating it in the head, and
Exactly.
fighting like 25 bad guys at one time. Helping his son, or
Mm-hmm.
saving them from falling off a cliff. I mean, there's so many ways they can go with it. I mean, the potential for that trailer to be, another big trailer is it's high up there.
Hey, we started a little closer to like 5:45, 6, right?
Yeah, it was a little bit later.
All
Because,
right. Let's try not to like rush too hard, but let's
yeah.
see if we can move on to maybe like the publishing partner / third party games.
Yeah, that's fine, because, it's like 9:52 for me, so it's...
Yeah.
I gotta work
Now we
tomorrow.
talked about briefly. We briefly mentioned Star Wars Battlefront and Call
Yeah.
of Duty and Red Dead and Destiny. We don't really need to talk too much about that because I think
Yeah.
everyone knows those are
Yeah.
big.
I know
They're
about
gonna be
those.
there.
Yeah.
Final Fantasy 15 will be there.
All the
Will
multiplayer
Assassin's
mode.
Creed be there?
See, I don't know, man. I'm thinking that Microsoft might have be buddy for Origins.
And
Is
I
that
think
right?
that's fine. I think that's
Yeah,
fine.
no
But I
problem
think
with it, but
there'll still be a trailer on their channel eventually.
right. Excuse me. Sorry.
Now, what about Shadow of the Tomb Raider or whatever it's called?
I thought they said they were skipping E3.
Are
Remember? Yeah, they already announced that it won't be at E3. Of course,
Okay.
they could just be saying that to surprise people, but
Right. Now, do you think it's going to attempt suicide on Xbox again, or do you think it's going to?
I
actually,
don't think that'll happen. That was kind of look at Street Fighter 5. I mean,
sure.
Street Fighter 5 kind of did the same thing. That was kind of I don't know what happened with it, but I mean,
Well, Street Fighter 5 wouldn't have even happened if it wasn't for Sony. That was less of a misstep since it was just made. It was funded by
Sony helped make it. Yeah, that's what people.
And it's traditionally that game was an arcade / Nintendo system game.
Yeah.
Back in the day.
Right.
And then Street Fighter got big on PlayStation.
Yeah. EX plus Alpha and all those games, Alpha 3 and
exactly.
Yeah.
So I can
Tekken
understand
7.
that. And then there's Tekken 7, which will have the VR and all that. Yeah.
That's a watch mode, right? Isn't like a cinema. You can be closer to the characters.
It's like
or
a
something.
practice mode, but I think they said that if people like it, they'll add more to it, or they could add more. I don't know.
Interesting.
It seems kind of half-assed.
Yeah, I know, right? I think we'll see Kingdom Hearts 3, third-party titles. Kingdom Hearts 3 will be there. That'll be.
Do you think that?
Yeah, I think that they're finally going to take the cat out of the bag, whatever you want to say. It's finally time to show the damn game.
It is overdue, but I don't know, man.
You don't
look
know
how long Final Fantasy 15 took.
Yeah. I know.
And it's the same director.
They say Disney's pretty they're pretty strict about the things with their characters, so maybe they're kind of I know it's probably Square Enix is in, but I could see kind of Disney getting in there like, hey guys, we care more about our games now.
I'm sure they want it to, but they also don't want it to release ahead of time. So
No. 2018, fall 2018.
Disney's definitely one of those people who know when to start promoting things with their Netflix and Avengers and all that.
Yeah.
They have the psychology down for the best time to strike with trailers and stuff.
Yeah, they got that down to a science.
Exactly. So, I think it may be there. It's definitely overdue. It may not be gameplay. It may just be an actual trailer.
Give us gameplay, please. You have to.
Well, they already gave us a little bit, right? The initial thing.
Dude.
If they have something cool to show, definitely, I would like to see that. But I just don't know.
They've shown 8 minutes the past 3 years. They owe us. Okay, well, they don't really owe us anything, but still, if they want the fans to be like, hell yeah, I'm excited.
They just owe it to themselves to not let it go down the same road as 15.
15, yeah. Well, here's 15, but it's not quite finished yet. There's some bugs, and the storyline's kind of lacking, but it's still great gameplay. I mean, I still enjoyed 15 , but it...
Yeah, I like 15 a lot.
Yeah, there was some aspects
they salvaged a game that was definitely in development hell for quite a while.
Yeah. Good job, guys. You did it.
If they show Kingdom Hearts 3, then they definitely need to do it after Final Fantasy 7.
Well, see, and people keep saying the Final Fantasy 15 multiplayer. I have no interest in that. None. That multiplayer
I'm not so interested
mode.
in that as I am returning to Final Fantasy 15 once all the DLC is just done.
Yeah, Prompto story and
exactly all that stuff.
Right.
I'll go back to it for a little bit, but I spent a lot of time with that game. I enjoyed it. I've moved on for now.
Yeah, there'll be an update soon.
What I am curious about is definitely Shenmue. I think they have enough to show.
I think we'll see the first gameplay. And then they're going to say, sorry guys, we apologize, but it won't come out till 2018. But
That's a game I think they should definitely focus on a trailer, because those have some epic trailers in the past. And if they're far enough to show some gameplay, they can do a small slice. But
I think there'll be gameplay
maybe
for
at
sure.
PSX they can show like a full trailer with the new announcement of like 2018.
That's what I was thinking. 2018, and then of course somehow Sony and Sega and the team that's making the new one is, hey, it's the HD collection of 1 and 2 with updated graphics.
Exactly. That's what I was trying to roll into. Is like if anything,
definitely, I could see that for sure.
They should definitely like show the game a little bit, whether it's gameplay or a small trailer.
It's QTE.
But then lessen the blow of a potential delay, or just next year offer the upcoming for this holiday though you'll be able to get
the
1 and 2
collection,
remastered.
$40.
Widescreen and
1080p and 4K.
Tweak some of the gameplay so that you can do things easier.
Controls won't be so awkward, and I definitely see that.
Exactly. Designed for game controllers with actual joysticks.
Right. I definitely that's
because the first one the joystick was used to look around.
It's like okay. But no, definitely.
It was interesting though, because like I noticed that in the original Shenmue, like you walk around the D-pad, and when you move the joystick to look around, it was like look mode almost, where you would say the signs that were Japanese in English.
Yeah. Stop.
I thought that was cool, but I think if they can actually go and just make that be automatic and like make it dual stick controls, it would just change the game for the better as a remaster.
It'd sell a bajillion copies, it would. People like, I never played Shenmue, or I never finished it. Or
the thing is that I think if it's not fixed and it's that archaic, it could be detrimental to the actual upcoming game.
Yeah, because
people won't like the way it plays.
Yeah, why are these controls? Yeah, that'd be bad.
Yeah, that's something that like I noticed some remasters and some older games that you go back to, and our controls are so antiquated, so outdated. It's hard for our brains to like accept them. Because we're like, why isn't this, and this? Oh, because they didn't have that back then. They were just learning about what DualShock even means.
Right. Doesn't it feel right? Yeah. I know what you're saying, dude.
Exactly.
But I definitely think they're gonna
one joystick, remember?
Yeah.
and a button.
A button.
And then Nintendo's like, hey, we got a joystick and a lot of buttons.
Yeah. Ooh. Yeah.
But the joystick's smack in the middle.
Right. But no, I definitely see.
But you can play with 2 of them.
Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah. That was pretty fun. But no, I do think that
Ni no Kuni 2.
See, I forgot all about that. I was like, shit.
I know, there's so many games.
Yeah, there's too many games.
We're talking about big ones, and then we forget about one, and then we'll jump to Shenmue, which is Japanese, and then we'll like, also in Japan, there's Sony Japan, which is like working with a team that has done they've done recent games like Gravity Rush 2. There's Team Siren. What are they up to? And like
probably VR experiences.
Remember Tokyo Jungle?
Oh yeah, with all the animals and all that.
Yeah, and Tokyo Jungle Team recently got together like earlier this year and took pictures.
So
what are they up to? Like I would love another Tokyo Jungle, to be honest. The game was kind of addicting.
It's back, y'all.
Actually, another one that would really be great to see a follow-up to?
What's that?
And we're also getting Patapon, don't forget, like next month or something.
Patapon.
And Loco Roco just came out.
Yeah. I got the dynamic theme. It's pretty cool.
It was called Trash Panic. Have you ever heard of that?
Trash Panic?
Yeah, it's this game that my friends and I fell in love with on the PS3. It's like this. It was an indie game developed from Japan Studios, I believe, Sony Japan. That was partially like a thing to help clean up trash in the world, like the recycling and stuff.
Wasn't it kind of like Tetris?
It was sort of like Tetris, but there was physics-based objects that you throw in.
I think I played it. I'm pretty sure I played it.
And the multiplayer was ridiculous, and like it was kind of like evil Patapons would show up and like yell at you.
How dare
tell
you bring
that
trash?
You suck and that you failed.
Oh.
Yeah, and you could break things. So like you could get like a heavy object and smash it against a wooden, chair to make more room.
Right. That's pretty cool.
But some objects would also bounce, so that if you try to bounce if you try to slam a tire and it fell out of the trash bin, it was game over for you, or that round.
Son of a.
So I think that game would be fantastic in VR.
Oh, bringing it back as a.
Yeah,
Like,
or
hey,
Move
y'all.
controller, whatever, so that you
Right.
have depth that you can mess with. Because that game would play really well, like a spiritual successor as a VR game.
I think there's. Didn't they? Wasn't there some rumor about a game or? It's called That's You. Have you heard about that?
Mm-mm.
It's some game being made in London, and it's some kind of quiz show game, but it has VR incorporated, but it also uses your cell phones.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it leaked last week, so I don't really know if they're going to have that at E3 with that leaking so soon.
I have to look into that. I'm also curious about that thing they shut off in like Japan, where it was like you could use your cell phone inside of PlayStation VR in like these landscapes.
I remember that one.
Yeah, that's gonna be there's all these things they can like definitely come up with. I mean,
Right.
Wild is about due to show.
Yeah. Again. That's been a while, hasn't it? Since what, Paris Games of last year?
Yeah, he just started. He just recently tweeted like a few months ago or whatever, a couple months ago, some
I'm back, y'all.
screenshots.
Yeah, on his Instagram.
Exactly.
Yeah, like, okay, that's cool. Instagram, all right, cool. I like Instagram. It was kind
just the
of
fact that he's
random.
working on it's good. Although personally, I just want to. I'm really intrigued by it, but I really just want Beyond Good and Evil 2. So.
Yeah, I think there's a contingent of people that demand that. What?
Reveal any DLC for games that already came out.
Yeah. We mentioned Horizon earlier.
Right, but other games.
Right. That'll be probably, we said, a teaser. And she was, okay, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no worries. I think we should definitely wrap things up very soon.
Oh.
It's getting late. I haven't had dinner.
Oh, I'm sorry, man. I didn't know.
It's quite all right. I'm just trying to think of what else there is to say besides, without getting too like deep down in the speculative road.
Do you think they'll announce any, like a discless PS4 maybe, or like just an all digital PS4? Or is that something for its
I don't
own
see why.
little...
Like, not. I mean, the infrastructure is just not around here. Certain parts of Europe and Japan, sure, but for the rest of the world, we have crap internet.
Yeah.
So downloading 40 gigabyte games is not ideal.
Yeah, it's gonna kill your console.
It's possible though. You never know.
I mean, we did pretty good, man.
There's so many things like there's rumors of a Legend of Dragoon remake.
Oh, that'd be cool. I had the first one. I never played it really. I played like 15 minutes of it, but I know there's a whole group of people that worship the game.
There's people who want Jetmo, remade.
That'd be cool.
Remastered.
In VR.
Yeah, and
that'd be pretty slick.
Also in VR, people want a PlayStation Home revival or remake.
Hey man, I thought Home was ahead of its time. Great idea, but the PS3 was...
It was really cool too in many ways. It just it was way too early to make that work.
Because like every room you went into had to reload, you had to download it, and then you on this other area had to download this again. Like, oh my god.
The social aspects were a bit strange.
Yeah.
And even Nintendo recently kind of figured this out, where they had Miiverse, but they got rid of it because all the people excited about Nintendo stuff were sharing it with each other.
Yeah.
Rather than on social media.
Oh, so their social media
so it wasn't really spreading
the numbers. Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't really helping them to just promote to each other.
It was just people.
And I think Home would face that same problem, but at the same time, Home could introduce like a bunch of mini games / launching into other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
They could also be VR compatible.
Yeah.
As this experience that like would sell people on more PlayStation.
Like you could go into a little chat room and you could see the people sitting there talking. Everyone's voice. You see their mouths moving and gestures.
I've met people on there that are still on my PlayStation friends list because we would go in there and then we'd all launch into a multiplayer game.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
And that was cool. And then there's also just people just being dumb and playing music and stuff. But,
turn down your damn music, idiot.
Well, there's that whole music area, right?
Yeah.
There's like the platform people would play. I will say one thing that I really, really hope shows up in secret is Cyberpunk 2077.
That's what my friend was talking about earlier. I was chatting with some of my friends this
I heard
afternoon.
they've been revamping a lot of that from last year or whatever. They had to like start over certain parts of it.
Really?
But as
Wonder
a
why.
big fan of The Witcher and what they did with that, and especially the DLC, and a big Cyberpunk fan, like just
Yeah.
I cannot wait
Blade
to see
Runner.
that game, even if it's
Yeah.
still another year or two out. I want more.
Oh, definitely not this year. No. I mean, I could
That
see him
teaser trailer
showing
was
it.
so good. I just
Yeah.
mean like seeing it. I
Yeah.
want to see it this year.
I want to see something, damn it.
It can still take 2 years to come out, but
Yeah.
man,
Take your
that potential
time.
for that's so great.
Take your time, guys. But I mean, we've done a pretty good job.
They're all about that. They're like, it's coming out when it's ready. It's
Ooh,
like, good.
We've covered Spider-Man, like the third party, the Final Fantasy remake to an extent. You know, we kind of said it might open with it.
I mean, Spider-Man
trailer.
had a nice trailer, but definitely want some more gameplay.
Oh, there'll definitely be tons of gameplay. I think it'll be playable on the show
and
floor.
Maybe a story trailer that tells more about what the actual villains and stuff are, not just this is Spider-Man. Look how cool it is.
Yeah, I'm Spider-Man PS4. We talked about Kingdom Hearts, FF7. We talked about a wider range of VR titles. You talked about Dreams because you've played Dreams. You know about it. I know that you can create stuff.
I mean,
you know.
You could say I touched Dreams. I didn't really get to play the
okay. Well,
or anything. I just got to see a lot of the creation tools and
and came in contact with it.
Shapes, and then somebody Kareem made my drawing.
That's so cool, man.
Interpretation of it, which is like so weird.
Bella. We covered some Capcom announcements like Deep Down, Onimusha, different games like that.
Hoping those come.
We mentioned Gran Turismo Sport. We know Knack 2 is coming this year. I think.
Oh yes.
Cerny confirmed that. Mark Cerny confirmed that during the Polygon interview, didn't he? I think.
Maybe. I think they're targeting this year for sure.
Yeah. Oh, I could see it like September or something like that.
Family-friendly games for the holidays.
We covered God of War. We covered Shenmue 3 and, of course, the HD collection. We covered Detroit. We covered Days Gone. And the one thing we kind of didn't cover was, we covered the Sucker Punch game, but not quite what it was or what it could be.
That was actually one of the ones I was just thinking of. Yeah, I was it's such an unknown thing that we know it's not Infamous. It's a new IP.
That's awesome. Yeah.
But they could be also working on another Infamous. We don't know.
Yeah. I've been down with that.
Even if it's just like pre-pro.
Yeah.
What do you think it is?
Well, there's been like 2 names they copyrighted. Did you hear about that HVNT? Have you heard about that rumor?
No.
Yeah, HVNT. It's like haven't, or it's something that
Oh yeah.
That one girl who did a bunch of the Switch leaks. He talked about they were filming a commercial for it, like a live action commercial, like a trailer for it. She said she's not sure if it's called HVNT, but it's something about Haven't or something. And then of course Sony copyrighted the term Sleepwalker. And I joked about that because back in the 90s there was a Marvel character called the Sleepwalker who could go into your dreams and all this and do crazy power stuff.
Well, I know Marvel is definitely getting more and more serious.
Yeah, but I just couldn't see them getting, Sucker Punch to make a game on a D-list character.
Well, I don't think Sucker Punch is doing Sleepwalker. I could be wrong.
Yeah, that'd be so random.
Definitely
Sleepwalker. Yeah, it would just be so out of left field. Like, what the fuck? Why is Sleepwalker getting his own game?
Based on what Sucker Punch is into in general, though, these days, I don't think it's Sly since it's a new IP, and I don't think it's Infamous. But I do hope it is something that kind of plays into the whole, political standpoint of the world and how things are going to hell and how we react to it.
Right.
Because that just seems to be like a fundamental thing that they deal with.
Oh, like the oppression.
It'd be interesting to see how far they can push that.
Yeah.
While at the same time, I'm also just curious to see how far along their tech has come.
Yeah.
Because Second Son was really like the first time I felt next gen.
It did, man.
About
like
character performance, because those facial animations and expressions were so good.
Animations were good too.
And just the moment that the game kind of starts almost underwhelming at first, not really, but it's intentionally subdued, right?
Right. Then you start getting new powers.
Gets his powers, and suddenly you're like, whoa.
Yeah. This is awesome. I
thought that was really done well because it starts off pretty simple. It looks pretty and all that, but you're just a dude running around, the water and
Like when you get the freaking neon powers, oh my god, that was so amazing. When you're running around, I was like, this is the coolest thing ever.
So I think it will be a third-person game.
I think so, third person. Mm-hmm.
Maybe
Yeah,
it's some sort of RPG, maybe not.
Yeah, I could definitely see third person.
There were rumors that it was like a space western, and then there was a western, and there was like some other thing.
No, I want a western.
Far Cry supposedly might be a spaghetti western.
Yeah, no, that's enough westerns for me.
It's like, yeah, I just want Red Dead.
Yeah. If you want a western, just get Red Dead, people. We all know that. Don't even worry about making your own western game. You're wasting your money. But no, I definitely think that Sucker Punch's new game will be shown. Do it. Oh, I think they're going to definitely show their new game. Whatever it is, they're going to show it, and it'll be hyped, and people will be talking.
Am I spanking you?
Looks kind of like it, but no, I think, like I said, I think
it depends on the angle.
Either Death Stranding will end the show, or like Sucker Punch's new game will end the show. If they have that much faith in it.
Definitely.
Because I mean, they've earned it. They're a pretty big Sony studio. I mean, I don't know if they're up there with like Naughty Dog and Guerrilla Games, but they're one of their bigger studios.
I think they proved that they could pull off some crazy stuff.
Oh yeah, with Second Son
on PS3.
Oh, with except when they tried to change Cole to the brown-haired dude.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm just meant like
I know,
they're
man.
Technologically competent,
right?
And they can make a fun game.
Yeah, indeed.
And then they showed that they could also pull off a game in a very short amount of time for PS4. That was really good, even though you still had slight kind of fatigue of been there, done that /
right.
It's launch window, or launch year or whatever.
It was definitely like, okay, well,
I can see like them saying, "Hey, we can do something even like way better. Just give us the time."
Hey, Sony, hold my beer, watch this.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I think we did a good job covering everything. I mean, we even covered some games that I forgot about, or even you might have forgot about, or
remember, which is the crazy part.
Oh yeah, that game, dude.
There's just so many, and we're, there's so much going on that's like not announced, and is announced.
Yeah.
That I think this is going to be like one of the craziest E3s for everyone.
Yeah, it's going to be. If you
the last couple years has been mostly Sony and Microsoft kind of like, hey, we're still here, Now Microsoft has, and I think Microsoft also purposely held back.
Right, because they might have known
because they want to save
they
it
had
for Scorpio.
To. Right.
/ the game probably wasn't, or the games may not be ready yet.
And
now Nintendo's going to be like, hey, we're doing stuff too.
Whichever console you prefer, be it PS4, Xbox, or the Switch, you're going to walk away being, satisfied that you had that console.
And PC too, I think.
PC, I'm sorry, yeah. I think that if you're a gamer, you'll walk away from E3 2017 being like, damn, the future's bright. There's so many good games coming out. I'm so excited. I don't see how you can be disappointed.
I do think VR is going to become even bigger this year, as everyone thinks.
You think so?
It's been kind of an entry price, issue.
Yeah.
Price of entry. And also, there hasn't been that many full games other than games that were like patched.
Right. Yeah, it's been like experiences and like 2-3
so
hour
far,
games.
all the smaller games and all the bigger games, everything from Rick and Morty to
Job
Resident Evil 7 to even GT Sport are
Batman Arkham VR.
It just makes things Batman Arkham.
Dude, that was so cool. I was like flexing as Batman. I'm like, look at my bat muscles.
That just shows how much potential there is there,
And I know, man. I was like geeking out over that. It was so much fun. I mean, I had more fun than
as the price of
drops,
PSVR, Oculus, Vive go down, and as the tech improves, where you get better screens and cheaper or wireless solutions, out the box, it'll be. And then Gear VR is pretty big too, but not necessarily. It's not really like VR. It's more like entry level VR.
Yeah, like the look at this house. You can look around it, or you can look over this rock.
But I mean, even the new Gear VR has a little motion controller.
Yeah, I saw that. My friend got one. I'm like, good for you.
They're definitely they're getting out there.
Because isn't Sony already making a profit off the VR headsets? Didn't they confirm that a long
Yeah,
time
before,
ago?
everyone's trying to profit on hardware now, so that's
So
good.
I'm guessing they could probably do a price drop.
Right.
Maybe.
So depending on the amount they're selling, because
Yeah.
I believe Shuhei like literally responded to me and a few other people who've been kept asking, "Where is
Yeah.
it? When are we going to be able to buy it? Because we can't find it anywhere." You know,
Yeah. Give us
like
time.
earlier this year,
Yeah.
he said they were saying it's coming. We're trying. You know, I think
Yeah.
they had to ramp up
Production.
but also the production is also shared. The
With the other
resources of our
comps.
planet,
Yeah.
you know, are
Right.
literally
Yeah.
shared amongst all these big companies trying to
Yeah.
make stuff with screens. So,
Right. But no, I
as
could.
there's more room to
Yeah.
make that, and things like PS3 are no longer being
Right.
produced, and this and that are no longer being produced,
I could see.
it'll cost less to make it, and that'll translate to price drops.
I don't know if there'd be a price drop right away for the VR, but I could see them packing in the camera as a price drop since you want to buy it anymore. You know, saving
Yeah, I mean,
$50.
I think the camera will just be cheaper, and the headset will be cheaper.
Yeah.
A lot of people have the camera without the VR, you know,
Right.
which is funny. So I think more bundles will be offered,
Streamers.
with all of it included.
Right.
But also, the core headset itself should drop, I think, by $50 or so by Christmas.
Yeah, I could see that.
Maybe.
People be like, "Look, it's $50 cheaper. It's freaking PlayStation
And
VR,
the game
dude."
included, you know,
Yeah.
of your choice or something.
You get
Choice of
Until
20
Dawn, or Until Dawn, or Batman Arkham VR, or Riggs, or
Exactly.
Drive Club VR. You know, it's different games. They'll definitely have some bundles for it this Christmas. Escape Black Friday. Get right into PlayStation VR. You know, some little catchy phrase or some bullcrap. But yeah,
Well, I
man,
think that
thanks
about does it for us, huh?
Yeah, thanks for joining me, man. It was a lot of fun. I had made it easy for me. That's definitely. I was pretty nervous about this.
no
I'm
problem,
still kind
man.
of getting used to like streaming and
Yeah,
just
I mean, I think that's the whole
talking
point of
and-
this is to kind of figure out your rhythm and stuff, right?
right. Yeah, you made it easy, man. Thanks, I appreciate it. You
Yeah,
definitely
my
made it
pleasure.
fun too, and you're knowledgeable about it. So, you know, it's not like I'm talking to somebody who's, oh, all I care about is Call of Duty. Oh, well, this might be kind of difficult, but yeah, you know. Yeah, but thanks,
My pleasure,
Multi-Pete, man. I had a blast with it. We'll have to do it again sometime soon.
Yeah, likewise.
Heck yeah, man.
Look forward to seeing this evolve.
Yeah, I want to get my best. You know, we'll see where it goes. I'm dedicated, so and I got support from you guys, my fiance. So you know, it's people are definitely help motivate me. That's always welcome. So thanks for the support. Thanks for the support, man. I appreciate all of it. It's truly
No problem,
thankful.
brah.
Yeah.
And thanks to whoever's still watching.
Yeah, you one person, you are the man or woman or whatever you identify yourself as. It's all good. But you know, just I'll see you online, dude, and everybody, you know, game on, brah.
All right.
All right, take it easy,
Have a
Pete.
good one.
See. Adios, amigos.